Happy Monday, folks. Hello, hello. Oh boy, how you doing? We're back in the saddle again. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you did something cool, something fun. Tell me about it if you did. I love living vicariously through you guys. Mine was a chill weekend. We kept it easy. We rested up. And boy, I'm feeling it today. I am ready to go, y'all. Well rested, ready to play. Let's go. Melissa, hello and happy Monday. How are you? 4-6, what's up, my dude, y'all? I'm so happy to see y'all. I was ready for this, man. I wanted to see y'all. 4-6, you're here early for once? Dude, you're rocking and rolling. It's all good, man. Happy to have you. Melissa, thank you for the heart me and the tiny diny. Get the tiny diny arms going on. And of course, a gift for a gift. A goblin for you, Melissa. Thank you very much. Quite the collection you're going to have, my friend. Dill, good morning to you as well. Hello. How was your weekend? Please, guys, tell me about it. Let me know. Did you do something cool? Did you have fun? Anything interesting? 4-6, the bean juice is hot today and good to go. This one's for you, buddy. Oh, perfect temperature. How about you, 4-6? What do you got going on? I'm doing the typical black with sugar. Melissa, you're building your army one miscreant at a time. Yes, you are. Y'all, as you know, I didn't make it to Lit RPG Con because of the weird medical issues. But apparently on Saturday night, there was a fire on the top floor of the hotel in the extra mattress storage room. So I wasn't there, but it seems my goblins made it and got into a bit of arson at about 2 a.m. on Saturday night. So at least I was there in spirit. Okay, so it's something. I don't know, where was it? Mare Bear, hello. How you doing? Good to see you again. Welcome back in. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. Seriously, that's just insane that you guys just come and hang out with me and ask good questions. It's ridiculous. Thank you. Who asked that one? Monarch Dynasty said, favorite book you have made. Oh, Monarchy. It's got to be this one right here. When my fingers aren't cut off. There it is. Wriggly little hands. We'll pull it up bigger. This is my favorite. I love all my children. I just love some more than others. The goblins are way too fun. It's a very goofy, silly book. It makes me happy. People read it and laugh at the jokes and tell me about it, and it's just a very joyous book. You can get it through the links in my bio. It's on Amazon, an ebook, paperback, audiobook, all the formats you could want. But yeah, you can grab it from my bio. Thank you for asking. Justin with the demon emoji, I think. I have been huge into K-pop demon hunters, so on brand, Justin, on brand. Rafi, what's up, my guy? How you doing? I hope you had a good weekend, buddy. Lumen CEO, do you have one major book to pay the bills, or is it a mix of many sporadically? So, ooh, that's a good one, Lumen. I've been doing this for a while now, and I have not gotten a question like that. Lumen, very good question. This series right here, my co-author and I got a very nice audio advance on. So that is a large chunk of income when we deliver manuscripts, because we convinced the publisher it was worth it. So this one's where the big audio advance come from. This is the best-selling, and this one is shooting up the ranks to become the best-selling. So it's a combination of those three, really. That's kind of how it. That's kind of how we make it happen right now. Melissa, I'm probably the coolest person ever. It makes you want to hang out with me. You flatter me, Melissa. You flatter me. I'm not that cool. But thank you. I'm glad you think so. I think you guys are awesome. I love y'all hanging out here. It's really insane. Thank you for doing it. I really appreciate y'all. 4-6, you got decaf today. Oh, man. Decaf? What's with the decaf? Is there a reason for that? Justin, you said no spoilers. Do you anticipate more writings around Ollie and crew? Oh, yeah, my guy. Let's see. Hold on. Let's pull it up. We're currently finishing up a novella set in that world, a prequel story, a Wriggly Little Assistant right here, which is, just been so fun to write. Wriggly Little Hands, I didn't quite know what I was doing. I was finding my way through it, getting confidence. Now I love the world. I'm fully in it. This story is singing, and we're definitely doing a sequel to Wriggly and then more books in the future. that are going to be in the world, but not direct sequels. There will be many more in that world. Tide and Tara, good to see you. I saw you were live this weekend, I think, and I just missed it. Like, I opened it up like as it was ending. Oh, Mayor Bear. Thank you. Back at you. Thank you very much. And you know what? As always, gift for a gift. Gotta give it back. There you go. You got the twins today. 2 little goblin. We'll call them helpers. They're not very helpful, but we'll call them helpers. Jack Ann, I hope you are well too. Good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. How was your weekend, Jack Ann? Did you do anything cool? Please, tell me about it. Maril.Frost says, anything? Do you like fish, like the food? Yeah, Maril, I like, Oh, Melissa, you're too kind. Seriously. And for that, you know what? All 3 goblins. You got the full sweep of them off to you. And that made me blurry as well. Such a powerful gift, Melissa. Knocked the camera out. We're back. Sorry, what was what was the question? Oh, do I like fish? Like the food? Yeah. You know, I'll take a good grouper sandwich, ahi tuna, oysters Rockefeller. That's about all I'll do is seafood wise. But yeah, I can rock with it. Mayor Bear said, I know everyone is different, but how long did it take you to write each book? Let's pull them up and see. This one was probably 6 months. This was 3 months. This was probably 3 months. This one was multiple years after rewrites and long stories. It was. We'll talk about it later. This was probably 3 months. This was about 3 months. So I average about 3 months. That's where we're normally sitting. I try to go faster. I'm trying to do about 2 months right now. I'll keep you updated on how it goes. Good questions, everybody. Let's catch up. Drums. Good to see ya. Wheezing Weasel, what order should we read your books? Well, whatever order you want, Wheezing. The one that I'm pushing right now that I really like you to read is Wriggly. That's my baby and what I think is the launch of my new career. But this one's a completed trilogy. Standalone will be a completed trilogy. Standalone. 5-book series, 3 are out. Book 4 is finished. Book 5 I'm working on. So it's whatever order you want, but this is the one we're pushing right now. And they are on Amazon. Links are in my bio. Please do grab one. I'd appreciate it. 46, your doctor said to cut down on the caffeine. Okay, well, I'm glad you got the decaf then, man. I'm glad you got that. You can still get your hot bean juice flavor, all that hot beany goodness with a little less caffeine. Rafi, you said you're tired. You had a busy weekend, but you had work all weekend, school, and they're building something new. What are they building, Rafi? What are they building, buddy? The D&D Cryptid, what's up? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. How you doing today? Avat, your opinion on using Chat GPT for editorial inputs. I do not like it, Avat. I've never used it specifically, so I guess I'm an uninformed opinion, but I avoid AI entirely. I don't know how it is for editorial input, but I don't think it would be ever be that great, personally. Rafi, you just sent your first ever Tiny? My dude. Thank you. You know what? First ever? We're rocking 2 goblins for you, buddy. There you go. Those for you. Thank you. You send tiny dinies, I send tiny goblins. Rip says the map man. Hey, I'll take that. If I'm known as the map man, we can rock with that. Adrian, you picked up a bunch of PS2 games yesterday. Dude, rock on. That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. That's a good way to spend a weekend. Thomas Carver, what's up, my guy? Howdy, howdy indeed. Juicy Wing says, will you ever make a series like The Dark Tower or Dune? I would love to. Particularly in the selling absolutely insanely well category. But yeah, no. Sci-fi is not too much my thing. But fantasy is more where we're at, mainly. Chill Bill for real? Boy, that's a fun one to say. Chill Bill for real. On YouTube, what's up, my guy? You said, do I like Godzilla? Yeah, I like Godzilla. Godzilla's cool. The Pinball Machine's probably my favorite Godzilla property. Or the 2001 movie that's hailed as being not great. I don't know. I thought it was good. Alex Tomlin 6, I'm going to write the next One Piece. Bro, get it. I believe in you. Let's go, Alex. Alex Tomlin writing the next One Piece. You heard it here first, folks. He's going to make it happen. Let's do it, dude. I fully believe in you. Let's make it happen. Titan Frey, hello. Good to see ya. How you doing? Raffi, thank you for your first ever Tiny Diny. That's so kind to you. Avat, how do you not get confused on characters from different books and writing? Avat, I try to make them really different. I try to make every character super different. Sometimes I make character sheets for them to like help making them unique and think about their backstory. Sometimes I base them on celebrities or something, or other characters in fiction. So just kind of doing that work ahead of time to make them super different and feel different. Melissa, you do have time for hot bean juice before the first sprint for sure. We'll see if we can get to a sprint today. I've been having trouble with it lately, but I would like to do it. D&D Cryptid, you're doing but you're here today. Well, I'm glad you're here today, D&D Cryptid, and let's see if we can't make you feel a bit better before the end of stream. Have I ever watched Heather's The Musical Swaggy? I've not, but I've heard it's good, and I love musicals, so I really would like to see it. Good question, Swaggy. I take it you're a fan. Slindy, you said, I've used it for research purposes and helping to plot, but with explicit instructions not to write. Hey, whatever works for you, Slindy. Rock on, my guy. And good to see you, Slindy. Welcome in, buddy. Happy Monday to you. Thomas, if you use ChatGPT for editing, it can steal your work. Very true. It's another reason I avoid it. Rip says, I have friends that take my ideas for D&D stuff and flesh it out with AI. I mean, look, I'm not going to criticize the process. You do you. Personally, I stay away from it. But I will not prescribe that to you. The Hooded Crow, what's up, my dude? Good to see you. You agree with me on the AI stance. All right, buddy, I appreciate you. How you doing, man? Good to have you. Let's catch up on these questions. Ken, welcome in, buddy. How's it going? You were finishing up the web novel recently, or at least an arc in it. I forget which it was. Let me know, dude. Good job sticking with it, too. Absolutely awesome. Wesley Jenkins, what genre of fantasy? So now, kind of my brand going forward, we're doing comedy fantasy, like this, shenanigan-filled story right here. Think Terry Pratchett or Douglas Adams. Goofy, fun, lighthearted, silly with a little bit of emotional resonance in there in the end. Really just fun stuff. That's kind of how I like to do it. Do I dabble in D&D, says Wheezing Weasel. I do, my friend, and in fact, I'll be DMing my first campaign later this year. I've played as a player several times. We're going to try as a DM now. We're going to see, folks. It could be fun. Could be fun. It's Jorge said, hey, Alex, been loving your content lately. I got a question. Jorge, hit me with it, my dude. Hit me with it. And thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I mean, if I miss your question, y'all, they're coming fast and fast. If I miss one, please do ask it again. Slindy, your mom's a mega Godzilla fan. Hey, rock on. I love seeing a property like that that's just been fun and consistent over the years, It's cool. Justin says, is SOA? I'm not sure what that is. Your OG baby that got you into writing? Oh, what is SOA? Is that one of my book titles? What is SOA in the context of this, my friend? Whoever asked it, I just lost the question because chat scrolled away. Justin, you said, is SOA your OG baby that got you into writing? Starting mine and wondering if I'm too attached to it already. Let me know what SOA means. User 8755683926210. What kind of writing do you do? I do fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi down here, but mostly fantasy. And primarily these days we're doing a silly, goofy comedy fantasy like this one. Which link in my bio. You can grab it, an ebook, paperback, audiobook, any format you want. Please do pick it up. Oh, Justin, okay, Servant of Rage, you meant SOR. Gotcha. Is that what got me into writing? That was the first book I wrote, Justin. Had a long journey with it, a lot of rewrites. I rewrote it like 3 times before we even moved ahead with it. So yeah, that was kind of my baby to kick it off. Yeah, you're spot on. I'm glad you're just starting yours. Tell me about it, dude. Let me try to get these questions. Thoughts on Wheel of Time? Rocks. There's a reason it's popular. It's good stuff. They're long, though, man. I don't got the time to read all that these days. I've been trending towards shorter books just because, working so much. So I do respect shorter books as well. Thoughts on One Piece? One Piece rocks as well. I love that it's got such a huge fan base. It's so consistent. It's reaching out to different formats with the Netflix live action and stuff. I think it's awesome. I love stories that go big and bring people together. JAB author, thank you for the gift. A goblin for your gift. Thank you very much. Hey, with the goblins, just a warning, y'all. Don't feed them after midnight. Hide every match in your house, and I apologize. Your house will never be clean again. They are absolute gremlins. I call them goblins, but they got more gremlin energy, so I apologize in advance. Let's see. Don Thomas, when you first began to write, did you have trouble getting people to read your rough drafts? Absolutely, Don. In particular, I don't think it's that important to get people to read your rough drafts. There is a desire to seek input and feedback and make sure your stuff's entertaining, but it's hard to get people to read that, and I'm not sure that it's that valuable. I think early in your career, the most valuable thing is to write a lot of stories and just to keep doing it, keep reading widely, and practice what you're doing, because the thing that's most valuable to you as an author is your unique voice, and you cultivate that through writing more. There's a fixation with getting other people to read your stuff early on. I think more important is just writing a lot and just practicing fearlessly. Like, believe in yourself and write something that you find entertaining. It's Jorge says, for my hard sci-fi novel, do you think a cow milking machine would work? Okay. Mad Max did it. Mad Max, I think it's in Fury Road. It might be in Furiosa as well. So there's your example. The D&D Cryptid said, I know it isn't a book, but I've been working on a podcast. Any advice on writing dialogue? Hey, man, podcast work. Look, we're all about storytelling here. Advice on writing dialogue. If it feels unnatural to you, speak it after you've written it, or speak it aloud and then write it down, because dialogue is spoken, so it's not... when you're writing it, it might be technical and a little clunky and written out too much. You got to speak it with colloquialisms and slang and shortcuts. So speak it aloud. Let's see. Avat says, I'm working on a dark isekai that doesn't have many typical isekai tropes. Rock on, Avat. But I will say tropes aren't a bad thing. Bad tropes are a bad. Tropes done badly are a bad thing. But tropes done well are things that guide us and tell us what to think about the story ahead of time. So, like, it's not a bad thing to have tropes. Chris Clayton, have you read Dungeon Crawler Carl? I've read book 1. I need to read more. It's a great series. Matt's a great dude. I am absolutely flattered, y'all. Let me geek out a minute. He follows me on TikTok, which blows my mind. I do have a screenshot of that notification coming in. And if you do enjoy Dungeon Crawler Carl, well, Wriggly Little Hands, the audiobook for it, was produced by the same folks that make Dungeon Crawler Carl and has Jeff Hayes as a narrator on the book. In fact, at Lit RPG Con this past weekend, we had Sound Booth Theater put up a big banner of their most recent and popular titles, and Wriggly Little Hands was on it, which I'm pretty happy about, man. Slindy, you want the Discord link? Yeah, we can drop that. Y'all, if you want to hang out with the community after stream, let me grab this link for you. Here's our Discord. You can hop on in here. We'd love to have you. Please do join. It's a fun place. Let me catch up on these questions. GD Penman, what are you talking about? The Hug Bear becomes the Hug Master? Good to see you, though, buddy. Happy Monday. Rafi, you got a new comedy author for me. His name is Rob Reed. Let me write it down, dude. I'll look into it. Does comedy like Douglas Adams? Well, say less. You got me with that one. Thank you for that, man. Let's see. I'm sorry if I missed them, y'all, but please ask again if I missed your question. Don Thomas, did you have any trouble getting people to... Oh, you already answered that one. Mare Bear streams, can the goblins be persuaded to behave with snacks? They certainly can. They are not above bribery in any sense. Isaac Clark, hey, I'm a new writer, and I'm wondering how to add more length to my story. I have the plot down. Add length. If you're having trouble adding length, then the idea for the story probably isn't enough. It needs to be a bigger idea if you're having trouble hitting that word count. What I would recommend for new writers, always my advice for them, is to write short stories first and submit them to contests. Write a bunch of those, then move into novels. Because you wouldn't run a marathon right out the gate, right? You would run a mile, then you'd run a 5K, then you'd run a 10K, then you'd run a half marathon, then you'd run a marathon. Same deal. Just write short stories first, shorter ones, and then longer ones. Then jump up to a novel. I think that would help, especially with trying to make sure ideas have enough legs to be a full novel. Oh, Melissa, you said Patient from Discord is a wonderful start to their story going. I love reading your stuff. Can you send that to me, Melissa, or like ping me where the notification's at? Because I'd love to look at it. Vicious, you said how to get a book edited but not spend a crazy amount of money. Editors want like 1,500. Yeah, I mean that's about the going rate. If you want to spend a little less, you want to find a more junior editor who's more early in their career. But yeah, I wouldn't expect to pay less than $800 to $1,000 for editing. Unfortunately, it is expensive. That's one of the pros of going with traditional publishing or small press publishing is they would handle the editing costs for you. So that is one of the pros of going that route. Thoughts on Hadrian Marlowe? I don't have any because I do not know who that is. I apologize. Character. I was thinking author. Yeah, I mean, I think author because everybody asks me about other authors, and I'm like, I haven't read every book in the world. I try, but I haven't read them all. Nathaniel Raymond, any advice for planning a D&D campaign? Have fun with it. Have multiple branching options that the players could take so that they can feel like they're crafting their own story within the world that you set up, but, hide the invisible walls from them. And don't be afraid to have fun with it. I feel like I've seen DMs that were a little too stringent to the rule book. Rule of cool supersedes all. It is a cooperative storytelling experience. The objective is for everybody to have fun, do cool things, and tell a good story. And if you got to bend the rules a little bit to make that happen, that's fine in my opinion. Ken, you are editing your chapters for Volume 2. Going to release next week? Bro. Good on you, Ken. Rock on, dude. Keep it going. Vicious. Okay, you re-asked it. Gotcha. Will Rothfuss finish Book 3? Man. One day. I'm hoping. Paul, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here, dude. I appreciate you. Hope you had a good weekend. Jackie Ann, you got to head out. That's all good. We appreciate you being here for a little bit. Yo, I'm going to go really white for a moment. Don't mind me. There we go. Slindy said, I wouldn't run at all, but I don't think you mean literally. Replying to Jack Ann. Oh, Paul, you got a hold of Guards by Pratchett. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it, dude. Classic book. All of Terry Pratchett's Night Watch collection are awesome. Corbin, you love the content. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you very much. Nice of you to say that. Thanks for being here. You guys give me energy. I love having you here. It's Desi with the awesome profile picture says, I've heard that short story advice before, but I literally only have 2 novel-sized story ideas. Try to size them down a little bit. Try to make the idea smaller. It's okay if it's the same idea as what was going to be in the novel. You could just try to size it down or pick a specific moment from it. Short stories are nice in that they don't have to resolve an entire arc, just a piece of it. That's part of why I like short stories. Think of it as like drawing a circle. Technically, to practice drawing a circle, you don't have to draw the whole thing. You could just draw a third of it, right? Just get that little curve, because if you continue that curve, you get the full circle. Short stories are kind of like that. You could do just a part of your arc, and then you can finish it later for a novel. Spencer, what's up, my dude? You said I built the Blood River into my campaign and built on what we brainstormed. Hey, rock on, man. Thanks for coming back and letting me know. Are you running the campaign yet? Are we live with it? Mare Bear says, when you write, do you keep default margins and page size? I prefer to write in actual book size. Mare Bear, I write in Google Docs, and I actually write in like 14 to 16 point font in pageless view. So my margins, my font size, all that stuff's all out of whack because when I'm writing, I focus on just being able to see the words on screen. Nice and easy. Then we format it for the book later. Simp1X, my man. Congratulations on the level up. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the tiny diny. Phoenix, you sent a you're awesome gift. Thank you. You're awesome, my friend. For both of y'all, Goblin gift. You send gifts, I send gifts. Thank you, guys. I'm running out of gifts here. I need to get some more. You guys are too generous. Damon Dinsmore, what is the most recent novel? That'd be this one right here, my dude. This one's my pride and joy. I wrote 9 other books first. Then I wrote this one and went, nah, this is the one, guys. I'll be writing more like it. It's just released last month, I think, or month before, month and a half. It's on Amazon. The links are in my bio. Please grab a copy, ebook, paperback, audiobook. It's on Amazon. Links in my bio. Pick it up. It's funny. It's silly. It's goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord, but they're goblins, so you know they're gonna mess it up. Please do pick it up. Arthur, is every book that says bestseller telling the truth? Yeah, I mean, everyone's probably not, but for the most part, they are, because bestseller is categorized different ways by different places. You can sell a small amount of copies, 20 to 30 copies, on Amazon in one day, like on launch day, and you can spike to bestseller in your category, like the #1 new release or whatever. They're changing the algorithm a bit, so that might change, but yeah, there is some truth to it. I think New York Times bestseller is still a more reputable title, perhaps, but you got to keep in mind New York Times bestsellers don't account for small press books. For instance, this guy right here sold enough copies on launch day to be a New York Times bestseller, but it is a small press book, so it does not qualify. So even though it's sold enough, it doesn't get that accolade. Oh, let's see. I'm just trying to scroll back here. Have you read Worm? I have not read Worm, but I do know it is beloved and quite good from what I've heard. It's a rule in the book that all rules are malleable, says Phoenix. It's a rule in the book and in D&D campaigns. Rule of cool, my dude. Evelyn the Raven, what do you recommend for a starting author? Any specific requirements for being a writer? Specific requirements for being a writer? Right. That's it. I mean, it helps if you have fun and you read widely, but, you know, to be a writer, all you got to do is write. To be an author, all you got to do is got to have a book out. There's no gatekeeping here. Have fun with it. Write what you have to enjoy the story first, so write what you just want to see, you know? Any advice on creating a magic system, says Get Off My Lawn Guy. Match it to your world, I think. If it's going to be like a power progression story, then maybe you have a hard magic system with clearly defined rules. If you want it to be more wild and mysterious, then I think don't explain the rules. I'm personally a fan of magic systems that are not explained. I think magic should be wondrous and confusing and weird. So I prefer that, but that's personal preference. I think you can build the magic however you want to in your story. Think of it as a plot, as something that serves the plot. It is a tool to make the plot better. Thomas, you said Wriggly Little Hands is really good. It's funny and has Pratchett vibes. You recommend it? Well, thank you, dude. This is what Thomas is talking about. Being kind, repping my most recent book. Thank you, Thomas. Y'all, the link's in my bio if you want to pick it up. Thank you very much, Thomas. I appreciate you. Spencer, you're talking about your map or your world. All the rivers also connect back to the main city like a figurative circulatory system. Now that's cool, dude. That's very cool. I like that a lot. That's smart. That's smart. See, Joseph Baker says, Master Knight, good day. Good day, my friend. How are you? Welcome in and happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Scuzzy says, what kind of pencil do you use? Scuzzy, I don't really write in pencil these days, but I can show you my pens. I got this one. This is my main pen that I use, and it's actually a Pilot V7 retractable that I've pulled the ink cartridge out, and it fits in this like commemorative pen that I was given. So I use that one a lot. It's kind of nice click sound. Can y'all hear that? Can you hear that snap into place, man? Love it. That's my primary pen. I've also been writing with the Pilot G2 lately, ballpoint. So those are kind of the pens that I use. No pencils. I'm left-handed, so my hand smears when I write. So I need stuff that does not smear. Raffy, Alex Knight, essentially a New York Times bestseller. I'll take that title. Spencer, thank you for the hat, buddy. Thank you very much. And the little crown. Oh, you got both headpieces going on. Hey, thank you. Goblin gifts for you. Gift for a gift. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, my guy. I wish I could see the hats on here. I can't see them on my end. Alyssa, you said, hola, it's the Goblin King. How art thou? I'm doing great. How are you? Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. Tell me about it. Do anything cool? I laid on the couch and watched K-pop Demon Hunters again and worked on like songwriting because I'm doing that in my free time for fun. It was a lovely weekend. Mike Hawk, you said, hi, I love your novel, The Far Wild. Mike, thank you. Thank you very much. How did you find it? I'm so glad you enjoy it. If you don't know, y'all, Mike is talking about this one. It's a fantasy thriller, kind of like Jurassic Park vibes. And the main character is the Empire's most beloved adventurer, or perhaps its most successful con man. I will leave that up to you to decide. But thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Please do review it if you enjoyed it. Those reviews really help little old small-time authors like me. Lunar Hades. Dude, that's a cool name. Lunar Hades. What a name. Any chance your books can end up on the Kobo store? I don't think so. I think you have to be wide to be on Kobo. I'm primarily on Amazon and Ingram Spark for indie bookstores. I make too much money on Amazon to go wide right now. But, we'll try in the future. You never know. I'm not going to rule anything out. Ken, you're left-handed too. Hey, left-handers unite, my guy. Let's go. Woo-woo. Elliot Smith Lover 210 says, what's your creative process? Try to be passionate and excited and just keep momentum's really big to me. If a book takes months to write, I firmly believe that frequently I'm not the same person at the end of a book as I was at the beginning. So I try to write quickly and just kind of keep that momentum going so that I can ride the high and the passion of the book. So my creative process is really momentum, I think. Yeah. Cat Attack, full-time astronaut, asking me anything. Well, that's very impressive, Cat Attack. Human, do you support fractional reserve banking? Human, I could give you an opinion on it, but it would be ill-informed and completely illogical, so I will resist it. Yuxie420 said, name of book. Well, my most recent book is Wriggly Little Hands. It's about goblins on a road trip on a quest to save the Dark Lord, and, well, they're goblins, so they do an excellent job. They mess nothing up, and everything goes to plan. Right? Maybe not. It's on Amazon, ebook, audiobook, paperback, Kindle Unlimited. It's in my bio. Just you can grab the links there, and if you do, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. It supports me. It keeps the stream going. I appreciate you. Audrey said, best tip for filling plot holes. Best tip for filling plot holes. I don't know. That's a tough one. I kind of just approach them individually and think about if it doesn't work, why doesn't it work, and how can we make it work? Plot holes are I think they're just kind of specific case for each of them, But if I'm trying to fill them, what I would do is write multiple scenarios for the scene that I think could solve it, and come up with a couple of them and see what I like most. Don't be afraid to take multiple shots at writing the scenario until you find one that makes the most sense. I hope that helps. Jesse, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. You know the rule, guys. Gift for a gift. You give me gifts, I give you goblins. And slowly we take over the world with them. So enjoy those. Jesse, you're loving the first book in Paragon? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you like it. Books 2 and 3 are out. Book 4 is written. It's just with the audio producer. Book 5 will be finished here in about a month. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy it. Mouse said, how do you plan writing? I'm bad at planning, y'all. I try. I struggle. I use a skeleton outline. I do a bullet point for each chapter in the book, and then I'll expand 2 more sentences of extra info if I feel that I need it for the chapter. And then I have a skeleton outline. It's light, and I can follow it, but it's not locked into it. I'm not locked into it, so I can pivot in the moment if I need to. That's where my best ideas come. I kind of like improv write, in that I have an idea where it's going. I have the events that I know are coming up, but I give myself the freedom to pivot because that's often when my best ideas come up. That being said, I'm terrible at plotting and planning. So how do I plan my writing? Poorly. I'm sorry. I hope that helps a little bit, but I'm sure it doesn't. T.S. Hallowgrave with the cool name, man. T.S. Hallowgrave, what a name. Do you find Kindle Unlimited to be worth using despite its exclusivity? I do. I find a steady stream of income, royalties, reads from Kindle Unlimited. So I find it very valuable. Rafi, I just hit 2,500 followers. Hey, rock on. Thank you, guys. That's all you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the follows. I appreciate that. 2,500, that's nuts. That's insane. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all. We got to do something to celebrate. Phoenix, you said, I'm excited to start Paragon. I enjoyed Warden. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Enjoy Paragon, please. Luke and I co-wrote that, and we had a great time with it. Daryl Dixon fan account. Can I borrow $18,000? Well, if I had $18,000 to lend, no, sorry, I probably still wouldn't lend it to you. Sorry, dude. Oh, Heather, I got to your question on accident because someone else asked it. Rock on. I like that. Alicia T, happy Monday. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a good weekend, Alicia. It's kind of a tongue twister there. Maybe I just need some more water. Oh boy, that's like a Welsh name. I'm gonna do a bad job, but like, look, it reads like Llewellyn to me, but I think it's Welsh. So I'm sure I butchered the heck out of that. I'm so sorry. Do you write these stories to understand yourself or to hide from yourself? I write these stories to make money and have fun creatively, I suppose. This is my full-time job, and I just like writing, y'all. I like telling stories. So that's why I write them. Angel Dust, how many books have you written? Let's pull them up. This is not all of them, but it's at least every book one. But this is a trilogy, so you got 3 there. Standalone, 4. This has got 3 out so far. 5, 6, 7. Did I do that right? 3, 4, yeah, 7. There's 2 more books coming in this, so technically I've written 1 of those, so let's say 8. This is a standalone, so 9. This is a standalone. Currently, it's going to have 2 more books, so we're at 10, and this would be number 11. I have an unpublished manuscript that is I co-wrote with my wife that we're querying, so that's going to be like, what, 12? I think that's all of them. So yeah, a lot of books. How do you get your stuff published, says a wet rat, 69420. Small press publishing, self-publishing. I was tried traditional publishing for a little while as well. So I'm very much a hybrid author. Rafi, you liked I write these stories to make money? Hey man, it's true. It's true. Mare Bear, Lou Ellen, you think that's how it's pronounced? Yeah, okay. Derek, good morning, my friend. And thank you for the follows, folks. I appreciate that. Derek, I hope you had a good weekend. If you did something exciting, tell me about it. I want to live vicariously through y'all. Do novellas count? Asked Paul. Sure. I guess you could count those as stories. If we count novellas, I've written 2 of those and 1 short story anthology. So I guess you could throw 3 more on the tally. Psych 14 says, what's your most profound lesson your characters have taught you? Ooh, deep question. Most profound lesson my characters have taught me. I think the characters in Wriggly Little Hands, I wrote these goblins to be silly, y'all. There was nothing more in it than I just wanted to write silly characters. Somehow they got really wholesome. And I think that the lesson they taught me is just to have like this open, excited curiosity about the world. Don't go into a situation assuming that the worst. Go into it like assuming the best, but willing to learn. I like to say they're curious but not intelligent, and I like to approach things to be curious and not intelligent. I feel like sometimes feeling like you know stuff ahead of time can get in the way of learning. So I think the goblins taught me to be curious but not intelligent. The intelligence can come later, but when you're learning something, when you're going to a new situation, go in wide-eyed and enthusiastic. I think that was a really good thing to learn from them. Peak Gaming, you're going to be a father? Dude, sounds like you're pumped about it, so congratulations, buddy. I hope that goes well for you. Congrats, man. Toasted 303, recommend something for me to read after I finish Red Rising series. It's my favorite book. Okay, so I'm going to be biased here, Toasted. If you liked Red Rising, I recommend Servant of Rage right here. It is fantasy. Here, I'll pull it up nice and big for you. Boom, there it is. It is fantasy, but it's narrated by the same narrator from the Red Rising series. So if you like audiobooks, you'll know that voice. But it's a similar vibe, I think. Similar levels of grittiness and a little bit of heartbreak in there. So yeah, I would recommend that. Let's see, questions. Mouse, how did you build an audience? Yeah, it took a long time, and it's still a small audience. Writing books and releasing them, really. Live streaming, interacting with folks on Discord, which, speaking of, if you want to... Oh, wait, I sent the wrong link for Discord. I'm sorry. Hold on, please. If you wanted to... my link's broken for Discord. Okay, well, I guess it's in the link in my bio. having the Discord community, etc., etc. Building an audience is hard. Be consistent. Be where your audience is. Be a part of the community. Don't always be selling. I think those are kind of the keys. Heather, what do you like best, series or standalone? Though best might not be the best word. More what I enjoy most. I like series. I like standalones. I think I just like short books that are page turners. It doesn't matter if it's a series or a standalone, as long as it's a quick read, it's fun, it keeps you going. That's what I prefer primarily. Toasted said, oh wait, I already got that one. Grandmaster Sam, hello, my dude. Welcome in. It's good to have you, and a happy Monday to you. You went on a great fishing trip this past weekend. Rock on, man. Where'd you go? What'd you catch? Always love a bit of fishing. Mare Bear, you raced RC cars all weekend. All right. Second place, too. Rock on. Good for you. Derek, you had a good first day at your job? Rock on, man. I want to hear that. That's awesome. Good for you. I love that. All right, let's catch up here. Bazzy Wazzy, have you spoken about this book yet? Yeah, it's this one right here, Wriggly Little Hands. It is a fantasy comedy about goblins on a road trip and all the chaos they get into because they're goblins on a road trip and someone gives them a rocket wagon. I mean, that's not going to go well. It's very fun. It's kind of like a road trip comedy, kind of like a D&D session where the DM's taking a shot after every chapter. Mouse, do I work with an agent? I did work with an agent early in my career, and then they got driven out of the industry in a scandal that they absolutely deserved, and I've not worked with one since. Not against it, but I don't presently. At this point, they'd have to explain to me how they would sell more books because I'm doing fine without them. I'm open to it. It just, needs to be a profitable and logical partnership. Llewellyn, I think that's how you say it, please let me know, said, what emotion do you avoid most in real life, and how often God, that is a good question, and how often does it show up in your writing? I get weirded out about, like, really touchy-feely stuff. I recognize this is a problem. Like, I'm fine in private with my wife, like, I'm a very loving person, but in other situations, or just, like, romance vibes in general, I'm weird about. So I definitely avoid it in my writing, even though I did actually start as a ghostwriter, and I did start ghostwriting romance novels for clients. So I do have experience, and I can write it. It's not what I prefer to write, so I kind of avoid that. Schofield the Scholar said Discord. Yeah, Scofa, let me grab a new link for it. My quick reference link was broken for some reason. It got changed, so I will grab that link. Hold, please. Here we go. I'm clicking everything wrong, y'all. Cracking under the pressure. He's finally cracking. Here we go. Here's the Discord. Oh, you found it? Well, I did all this work to get it, so now we got to paste it anyway. Please do join us on there. We'd love to have you, y'all. We are approaching, I think we're at 200 members now. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Your local pansexual, welcome in. Good to see you again. Pleasure to have you back. You said, hey, do you have any tips for new authors? I'm trying to write and it'd be greatly appreciated. Tips, have fun, write for yourself, write short stories. Those three right there. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't doubt yourself. Your inner critic's going to be your biggest critic. Write fearlessly. Just write what you want that sounds fun and cool to you, and don't doubt it. Just go for it. And submit to short story contests. I think start with short stories. Excuse me. Alyssa Wills, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. A goblin for your time. That one's for you. Thank you very much, Alyssa. You said, what constitutes a short story? Short story is, I say 2,000 to 10,000 words, or 1 to 5 chapters. You can find actual definitions online, but that's a good frame of reference for it. And it has everything a novel has: beginning, middle, end, characters, conflict, resolution. It's got all these good things. That's why I say they're good practice for novels. And it should just be a completed little story in that time. Space Viking Cowboy says, do you use any programs like for grammar? I do not. That's what my editor's for. No, I try to learn. I try to be good about it. I try to be nice to the editor. I use basic spell check and grammar check. Once you get better at writing, once you're more comfortable, you start to do things that break out of the conventions of normal grammar, standardized grammar, and grammar programs have trouble with that. They don't like it. They try to tell you to write formal writing or like start your sentences with complete sentences, but at the end of the day, when it comes to writing stories, everything is as a servant to style. Style is most important in grammar. As long as it's legible, you're free to break grammar rules for stylistic reasons. For instance, in Servant of Rage, this one right here, the people that it follows are largely not illiterate people. They don't value the written word or reading. They are also very practical people. So I have a lot of them start their sentences that they speak are often sentence fragments because they're trying to speak efficiently with their words. Grammar programs hate that, but it makes sense in the realm of the story. Let's see. Bro says start with short stories, and I'm building a whole D&D world for my first time. I see a lot of folks do that off the bat, but I'm telling you, man, start with the short stories. It's perfect practice. Credence, what's my favorite color? Green. I love green of all varieties. J-Star, how often do you reread your chapters? As I'm writing them, I'll reread them and look at them, but don't get stuck in the trap of rereading too much. It'll slow down your forward momentum. Writing is all about forward momentum, at least for me. I got to keep that head of steam going, so I don't reread too much till I've really gotten the first draft done. Leisha, once you learn the rules, you can break them. That's it. It's good to have you back, local pansexual. Good to see you. Where was this question? You said you write a bunch of poetry. That would be cool to publish. Yeah, you can publish poetry. Absolutely. There are also poetry magazines, literary magazines that publish poetry on a recurring basis. Look into those. I got some poems published in those back in the day. It's a good place to start, and you get to see your work in print, man. That's cool. Alyssa, can you do a series in all short story format? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what anthologies are. Totally, you can do that. Blaze Gaming, good to see you, my guy. Welcome back. How you doing? How was your weekend? Please, tell me about it. Y'all, I beg you. Tell me about the cool things you did. OBJ says, full-time author, so unemployed. Well, OBJ, if you call publishing 10 books and making a living by selling them unemployed, then I guess I am. But I like to say full-time author. Paul Hare, did I miss your answer about songwriting? I don't know if I saw the question about it. But please do ask it again. The wrong guy said, don't forget it's back to school season 50-cent comp books at Walmart. Oh, these bad boys? I haven't forgotten. I just picked one of these up over the weekend, y'all, and I'm filling it up with some songwriting stuff we're working on. God, this is giving me a lot of fun right now. Yeah, go get your comp books. They're lovely. Mouse, how many words is a short story? 2,000 to 10,000 is the range I give. It varies, but that's a good place to be. Or you can say 1 to 5 chapters. Maddie Noon says, yo. Maddie, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. Pleasure to have you. Comp books are a need. Yes, they are. Eric Sanderlin says, are you self-publishing or working with an imprint? Both, Eric. I have a small press that I work with, Portal Books, and I self-publish a couple of my books. I also work with Audible, Podium Publishing, so I'm really, truly hybrid. I'm all over the place with it. Really, realistically, what it comes down to, I work with whoever is going to offer the biggest advance. And the best terms. Sound Booth Theater is an audio publisher I'm working with right now, and I love them so much. They're incredible. They are winning me over. They have won me over just with their passion and their willingness to go the extra mile. Love those guys. Paul Hare, you said I wrote a song this weekend. Is that your first time, or are you doing it for the first time? Paul, I have been interested in poetry for a long time, but I dropped off after high school. Maybe a little bit after college, actually. I am as a hobby for fun, looking at songs, how lyrics work, and I'm kind of working on songwriting. I'm just learning it from what other people have written. I'm sure I'll be sharing soon about it, y'all, because I'm obsessed with it. It's like a puzzle in my mind, looking at how lyrics go together and rhythm and rhyme schemes and all that stuff. So I've been practicing that right now in the comp book. I'm having way too much fun with it. Happy to talk more about it. Panthy said, how did you get started? Did you need a bunch of capital or just stayed broke until you made it? Oh, well, Panthy, I didn't go to full-time writing off the bat. I started, when I was writing my first book, I was working 9 to 5 at an office job, and I would leave work, pick up dinner on the way home, eat it as I was driving. Shout out to the 10-piece spicy nugget from Wendy's. I would go home, change, and then I'd go right back out to my local college library, and I would write from like 8 p.m. till like midnight, 1 a.m. every night. So that's how I did it. Yeah, Raffi, sorry, real quick, Raffi, music you say. Yes, man, I might be talking to you about it, some questions soon. But Panthy, that's how I did it. I worked 9 to 5, and then I wrote in the evenings. And then I eventually transitioned into doing some freelance business writing for companies. That led to getting a couple offers to do ghostwriting for novellas. Doing that well led to offers to ghostwrite full-length books. And then I did that for a couple years and then transitioned that into writing books under my own name. So I eased into it. So there was no point in time that I was just like, completely broke. I was definitely living off ramen, but still making money. Julia, you said, oh my God, there's 20 questions I haven't gotten to. Boy, oh boy, I got to get to these. Sorry, guys. Julia, my ex has notebooks and thumb drives full of stories he's written. Any advice for him? Take a shot at publishing if that's what he wants to do. If he just likes writing for fun, for passion, then I got no advice, man. You found it. You figured it out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Blaze, you asked, do I have a murder mystery book that I wrote? I haven't written a murder mystery yet. I'm very interested to, but I've not done that. Justin, do you see your other books as projects you'll revisit, or do you feel you found your niche in Wriggly Little Hands? Great question. Okay, so here's y'all want a cold truth of the author world. I love all of these books. The sad reality is, if a book doesn't make enough money, you can't continue writing it. Book 2 will never sell more copies than book 1. Book 1 has the widest appeal. The most people are going to try it, and the people that like it will carry on to book 2. But some of the people aren't going to like it. They're not going to carry on. So if a book doesn't sell enough copies, it doesn't make sense to write book 2 because it's going to sell less copies than the first book did. There are a lot of books that I would like to go back to that just didn't do well. The Far Wild right here. I love this book, y'all. I love this book. It didn't sell well. I can't financially justify spending more time writing it. So I'm very lucky that Wriggly Little Hands, this book that I absolutely love and just like really unlocked like a new level of authorship with, has sold well enough that I can do more books in that world. So I am rapidly doing that because I really want to write more in that world, and it's done well enough that I can. It's not a fun answer, but it's a very true answer. The real Insta Coach says, "Who's your favorite comic book character?" I'm a Beast Boy fan. I've been reading Teen Titan comics lately. I love Beast Boy's energy, man. That dude's wholesome as all get out. I like him. Tarong Guy said, "I know where I want the story to go, but starting and finishing is the hardest. Help." Tarong Guy, sit down, set a timer for 20 minutes, and while that timer's running, you just got to write. Don't think, don't doubt, don't edit, write. Words on page, non-stop for 20 minutes. If it's bad, don't worry about it. You'll fix it later. But what I find is, you set that timer, you start writing, what ends up happening is you kickstart your brain. And when that 20-minute timer's done, you just want to keep going. You've tricked yourself into the creative mode, the creative mindset. That's what I do. I hope it could work for you. User 1701149280057. Has writing full-time changed how you feel about writing? Yes, it has, user, for sure. It becomes a business for you. You have a little less passion and creativity. You want to cherish that passion and creativity as much as you can. But when you are writing for full-time, it is a business, you know. So you gotta think of it and treat it that way. But still, you gotta hold on to the passion. Write like you're running out of time, Hamilton style. That's it. Walken, I do not use AI in any form. Do you know a good way to avoid plot holes? Asked Mysterious Cat Circus. That's a fun name. Do I know a way to avoid plot holes? Plot holes largely are solved early on when plotting your book. If they arise naturally in the course of writing the book, I think there's no way to avoid them. There's just ways to realize you're in one and fix it. And my best advice for that is to write several potential scenarios. They don't have to be long, just to be short, but just several potential scenarios that get around it. See which one you like best, and then roll with that. Rafi, thank you for running the sprints in Discord. We really do got to find a solution for that. But y'all, here's the Discord link. I used to do writing sprints on Mondays with y'all. There's just been so many questions and viewers lately that I don't have time to get to it. So if you do want to do writing sprints, kind of like that 20-minute timer thing I described earlier, but with a 5-minute timer, there's my link in Discord. At least I'm trying to share it. It's in my bio. You can click in there to find it. The Discord is going to be running writing sprints. So please join on in there. Dr. Shakaloo. Why can't George R. R. Martin finish a book? Well, he has finished a lot of books. Just not finishing them now. And that I can't answer for you, but I sure wish he would. I'm really waiting for, what is it, Winds of Winter? Is it the next one? I'm really waiting on that one, man. I read all the others. Local pansexual. I have an old comp book from 2 to 3 years ago. It's full of song and book ideas. Beautiful. I love it. Would have cherished that thing, man. It's so cool. I feel like it's just wonderful to have this little collection of ideas and inspiration, you know? Thank you for the follows, everybody. I seriously appreciate y'all. You are too generous. Panthe says, if you don't use AI, how do you feel about the do you feel about the market flooded with AI content, or is it filtered well? I don't think the market's flooded with it. Not good stuff. There's low effort stuff out there, but it's pretty easy to identify. It's a fad. It's going to pass. AI in creative industries is not here to stay, in my opinion. Court, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Yes, Melissa Lee, thank you for running those sprints on Discord. You seriously are a lifesaver. Seriously, I appreciate you. John, you said, is it possible for short stories to be published and successful, like the 20 plus 30 page range? Well, John, so typically in the industry, we measure things in terms of word count because pages vary based on the format the book's in. So short stories around 2,000 to 10,000 words. Thereabouts. It could be shorter technically, but I guess so 0 to 10,000 words, or 3 to 10,000 words maybe. You're not going to make a lot of money off short stories, but you're going to get good practice, and you can submit them to short story contests to win respect, feedback from judges, build a bit of a name for yourself, etc. So that's why they're valuable. You're likely not going to make a lot of money from them. They're not really a moneymaker. Mare Bear, you said writing sprints got you from writing a chapter a week to 3 chapters last week. I love to hear it, Mare Bear. That's awesome. I'm telling you, man, they work. The writing sprints work, y'all. Good for you. Alicia, thank you for posting the Discord link. Let me I can't copy out of this, darn. I'd love to copy that so I could paste it myself. I'll have to fix it. I'm gonna manually type it, y'all. Hold, please. We're gonna just HTTPS. It scrolled away right as I started typing. ://discord.gg/tb4wzckx. Okay. Can someone verify? I'm going to paste it and check. Can someone verify I typed that correctly? That link works. Thank you, Alicia. All right, here we go. What are things you think are needed for building a full fantasy world? Story. Story is all. Everything else is ancillary. It's extra if you want it in there, and it's great. But like, look at K-pop Demon Hunters. Y'all seen that on Netflix? If not, go watch it. It's amazing. I love it. It doesn't get that much. It's a quick movie. It doesn't get that much into the world building, how the world works and whatnot, but it's a great story. You don't need to have a ton of world building to have a good story. I think it's good to leave room for the readers to wonder and be curious. That makes them engage with the story more. That allows them to have headcanons and build their own theories. These are all good things. You don't have to explain every last detail. In fact, I find the most magic happens between where the writing ends and the reader's imagination begins. That space gets filled with creativity and ideas, and that's what keeps the story thriving and alive. Awesome. It works. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. Well, Legia, I was talking about K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. It is popping off right now. Don't let the name throw you. It's an awesome movie. Slindy, it gets you intrigued about the world too. I could see them making more content from KPDH. Absolutely. Oh, please God, yes, make more immediately. Please, immediately. Let's see. I know I missed a ton of questions. Victoria, I'm almost done with the first draft of my first novel. I'm nervous to tackle the second draft. Advice. Nervous is good. Nervous means you're treading new ground. If you're not nervous, you're probably not being adventurous enough with it. So I think you're doing everything right. For the second draft, just edit it, clean it up, make sure the story works for you. If you got someone that could read through it, that'll give you honest feedback, have them read through it. But realistically, I think the most important thing is you read through it start to finish yourself, take a couple notes as you go, and then just try to smooth over anything doesn't seem like it's working. That's really it, man. That's my advice for the second draft, Have I read the Dark Tower series? I have not. I know people recommend it a lot. I just don't have time to read all the books out there. Melissa said, keep on, Map Man. I appreciate you. Paul, some sleeper cell just got activated with you reading that Discord link. It did kind of sound like that, didn't it? Let's see what else we got going here. Wilk said lots of world building gives you rules and parameters that can make the world come to life. It can. It can also bog down the narrative. But look, I'm a sucker for world building. Theoretically, if you're selling books, they say settings. World building doesn't sell books. That ain't true for me, man. If I read the back of a book and it's just got cool world building, I'm like, I don't even care what the story is. I'm here for it. Probably it's still good advice to follow characters, action. Mainly characters sell books, but man, I love some world building. Wilk, Abear spent years world building, or Herbert, I never know how to say it. Ever since I learned in high school that one of my friends' last name, I thought it was Herbert, was Abear. I was like, oh my god, blew my mind. Prince Hulk on YouTube, my dude, what's up? Good to see you. You said, do you play D&D? I do. Played several times as a player, and I'm going to be doing my first DM session, DM campaign later this year with some friends. Super pumped for it. Your local pansexual says, honestly, I think some of my book ideas are better for shows or movies. I mean, that might be the case. The problem is those are just hard to make. It takes a big creative team to make these things. Books are lovely in that it takes one person, at least, for the most part, to write the story. You need a cover artist, you need an editor, you need a publisher, or to self-publish. But for the most part, it takes one person to write a book. That's why they're so lovely. Hey, we've reached that point in the stream where TikTok says I am inactive. Every day we get there. TikTok, I'll put your little puzzle piece in the puzzle. Oh, look, I am here, TikTok. Oh, well. All good. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Thank you for the follows, y'all. You're too kind. I seriously appreciate it. Victoria, you're very welcome. I hope that helps. Laura Leal says, are you down to write a celebrity love story fan fiction? I probably wouldn't. I don't do romance stuff too often, but that being said, I have a great respect for the romance format, y'all. Like, there's a reason. If you don't know, romance is always the best-selling genre, and it's not close. Romance is absolutely just the gargantuan giant that towers over every other genre. It's big money. Jaden Calwell asked, what do I author? Well, thank you for asking, Jaden. I've written all these books here, but the one I really want to push people toward right now is my newest, Wriggly Little Hands. It is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip and all the wonderful, whimsical, wacky ways they screw that up. It's been described as a D&D campaign where nobody put any points into intelligence, and the DM takes a shot after every chapter. And that's pretty spot on. It's wacky, it's wild, it makes you feel at the end. It gets weirdly wholesome and emotional, but it's also wacky as all get out. The links are in my bio. Please do pick up a copy. It's on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, audiobook, paperback, whatever format you want. You can grab it. It supports me, supports the stream. Thank you very much, y'all. That's my big one. Pick it up if you can. YTY Tut says, do you play other games or get inspiration from them? Oh yeah, man, I'm a big gamer. I love D&D, but I also play video games all the time. Honestly, my inspiration, though, comes from reading books, watching actual plays of D&D. Love that. Yeah, this is kind of where and just life in general, just living, you come up with ideas. Prince Hulk, I do not know what to make of that question. The Stars said, Part 1, as a writer, how do you recommend your audience handle an emotional journey in your stories? Part 2, when there is an unknown future about the continuity of the series. I've not really come across it so much, or so far. I mean, there are stuff like that, but I don't have a recommendation for how my audience should handle them. They're allowed to handle them as they want, particularly this bad boy up here, Servant of Rage. This one's got an emotional arc that hits pretty hard. This is a darker story, and books 2 and 3 are coming out soon. That's got some gut punches in it, but y'all take it as you want, It's all all up to you. Sorry, I just saw Justin's comment. Wriggly Little Romance. Yeah, the romance sequel to Wriggly Little Hands. That was a running gag for a while. Y'all wanted me to write a romance story with the goblins. Glitter Faw said, can I make a living from writing, or is it more of a side hustle? Glitter, you can full on make a living from it. It's just the minority of authors that do make a living from it, because it's very hard to do. Especially that pivot point over from doing it in your spare time to full-time is a very difficult, border to cross. But the money is to be made here if you are passionate, you publish frequently, and you write on genre. I think it can absolutely be done. It's just hard. Author Jeremiah, I always enjoy your content. Just released my first novel. Wanted to say thank you for your encouragement. Dude, rock on, my guy. I'm proud of you. Good for you. Drop that title, Author Jeremiah. I want to know what it is. Thank you very much for the kind words, but good job for you for getting your first novel out there, man. Drop that title. Storm Hale says, why does your writing pale compared to Jim Butcher, Harry Dresden, Wizard for Hire? I mean, art is subjective, but Butcher sold a few more copies than I have. We'll say that. Ryan G, you said you saw your name pop up on screen. Well, I'll give you a shout out right now, my guy. Welcome in. A pleasure to have you. I hope you're having a great day. Gamer Dad John said, did you create your system or did you use D20 as your base? For the DM, for the campaign I'm going to DM, we're just using very typical 5e rules. So nothing too crazy there. Jack said, I look like Lex Luthor. I mean, we're both bald. Could he throw some of his fortune my way? Just like 1% of it, though? Like, come on, buddy. Just a little bit, please. I'll cosplay as you. Local pansexual. One thing I don't like about writing is I need to look up sketchy stuff. I need a doctor friend. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. But, we got the great Google, the power of the great Google. We can find the answers. But, yeah, it does get weird sometimes. C. Joseph Baker, author, I'm about to quit my job and just write. Hey, man, I hope that goes well for you. That's a bold move. It's a big step. I hope it goes well. I'm pulling for you, buddy. Let us know. John, what is the best medium for short stories? Wattpad, turning them into webtoons, or self-published? John, I think the best medium for short stories is to write them specifically for contests and submit them. That's what I would do. It's a great way to build a claim. And get published if you win, get feedback from industry professionals, build a little bit of a name for yourself. Darth said, what genre do you write? Darth, I write fantasy, my dude. I did some sci-fi and lit RPG when my career was starting out, and now I do fantasy. And this is my newest release, the one I'm pushing, the kind of the direction I'm going from now on. It's comedy fantasy, it's light, it's short, it's quick, it's goofy. But it's a little bit emotional in there. I really didn't expect it, but it's even snuck up on me, man. It gets wholesome and sappy toward the end. It's like a Terry Pratchett or a Douglas Adams book. Very silly. Grab it on Amazon, y'all. Kindle Unlimited paperback audiobook. The links are in my bio. I'd greatly appreciate it. I think you'll have a good time with these goofy goblins. T said, where did you get that pop filter to fit on that headset? I was on Amazon. I just looked up my headset make and then a pop filter for it. I think it's not as good as it could be, though. I still hear some pops and stuff in there. We got to work on my mic game. It ain't quite there yet. Author Jeremiah, Nancy Knight attempts to save a floating city from gravity by pulling itself apart. Is that what the book is about? Did I miss the title? Oh, Blaze, you like the new background? Hey, thank you, man. It's the back cover of Wriggly Little Hands. It's the back cover with the texture moved. It was so good I had to feature the art, man. I'm such a fan of the art. Ivan Shavrin rocked the cover art for that book. Orlando Cantu, how does Kindle Unlimited pay? One-time license or per read? KU pays per page read, and it classifies as pages in a different way than you would think of as pages in a book. It's a little weird, but I make it varies month to month, but I think it's 0.0039 cents per page read. It works out just fine, though. I make good money off KU, so I appreciate y'all reading it there, and if that's where you want to read my books, by all means, please do. C. Joseph Baker, how much do we spend on editing and stuff pre-publish? If I'm going for my super slim down shoestring budget, I pay around $800 to $1,200 for my cover art, and I pay around $1,000 for my editing. My goal, when I'm on shoestring budget phase, meaning I haven't sold the audio rights to the book and brought in some money, is to be around $2,000 for production of editing, cover art, etc. That's about as cheap as I can get it and get an editor and an artist at the quality that I want, as well as making sure I feel that they have been paid a worthwhile amount of money for the work they've done, because they deserve the money too. I'm not going to shortchange them. So yeah, Jeremiah, your book is called The Tinkerer's Legacy. Rock on. Well, congratulations for publishing it. The Tinkerer's Legacy, y'all. Give it a look on Amazon. I assume it's there. Crafts Coven, I use no AI in any stage of my work. I am a massive opponent of AI. I do not like it. Millie, what's up? How you doing? Good to have you back in, Millie. A pleasure to have you here. Impage, you said Lex Luthor in the show Supergirl is played by John Cryer. He has a bald and beard combo. Not too dissimilar from myself. All right. I'll have to look him up. I get a lot of Asmongold references. Andrew Luck when I had hair, and I think I'm a dead ringer for him, but now the hair's gone, so, Akagi solos, there is no romance in my books, and definitely none in Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy. Also, the main characters are goblins, so, I don't even know how we'd write a goblin love story, y'all. That's a weird one. No romance in this book. No. Danny, waffle fries or tater tots? Oh boy, if the tater tots are crispy, we're doing the tater tots. We're probably just doing the tater tots anyway. Tater tots for the win. Cupid, most overused word in your book? God, there's a lot. I have a constant battle to not use words too often. I don't know though. I don't know. I really don't know. I legitimately don't know. TikToker said, what books have you written? Thank you for asking, my friend. Or TikToker, actually. I've written all of these. These are the book ones, at least. A lot of these have sequels. But the one that I'd really like you to look at is Wriggly Little Hands. It's my newest, and I found my calling for what I should be writing with this book. So it's fantasy comedy. It's about goblins on a road trip and all the shenanigans they get up to. As they go directly to their objective, right exactly where they're supposed to go for their quest, with maybe a lot of zigzags and pit stops and tangents on the way. Please, it's in my bio. It's on Amazon. The links are in bio. Please do check it out. I would appreciate it. Tom Miller, could you go over more information about making your book an audiobook? Tom, I don't know too much about that, but what I can say is what I do for audiobooks is I query audio publishers, and I have relationships with a couple of them, so that helps. But before I had those, I cold queried audio publishers and said, hey, here's the book, it's done, here's my pitch for it, here's the cover art, what do you think? And if they liked it, they would want to acquire the rights, the audio rights, which allows them to produce an audiobook from it. And I would sell them those rights for an advance. And self-publishing is expensive when you're doing it all yourself, but if you sell those audio rights to a publisher, you just got your production budget. They're going to take care of making the audiobook. You take that advance they gave you, you spend that paying your editor, paying your cover artist, etc. So that's kind of my little trick for that. Paul, you said you don't see the Asmongold similarity. Might just be because you're not a fan of his. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see it too. It's really just the beard and the eyes, the eyebrows. I think that's really all it is. Modern Apology. It's an interesting name. You said when writing, before publishing, what's your format? 12-point Times New Roman, double-spaced? Modern, I write in pageless view on Google Docs, Google Drive, 14 to 16-point font, double-spaced, just because I want it like big. I don't want to be squinting at text all day. And pageless is really nice because it just flows. There's no page breaks or anything. And then I put it into manuscript standard manuscript format when the book is done. So the 12-point font, Times New Roman, double space, standard margins, header with the last name and page number. See, Joseph Baker says, slime love, the goblin romantasy you've all been waiting for. Leisha, chittering is definitely the most used word in this series for a reason, but not in Wriggly. Tom Miller says that was very, very helpful. Thank you. Well, thank you for asking, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad I could help. Ryan Walters, favorite read. I'm looking for new recommendations. Well, Ryan, I gotta be biased here. I gotta push this one. It's mine. It's funny. I think you'll have a good time with it. It's fantasy comedy like Terry Pratchett or more Douglas Adams, but fantasy. Links in my bio. You can get it on Amazon in any format you prefer. Kindle Unlimited, audiobook, paperback. But if I'm not recommending my own, I'm going to put it in chat for you, my dude. Look up Last Stop by Django Wexler. It's a really fun fantasy. Kind of like alternate world fantasy. It's sick, man. It's like, just check it out. It's a good book. It's short. It's really fun. Elijah L. Foo 97. I love this TikTok live, bros. This isn't my usual algorithm, but I'm a follow. Man, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I hope your day's off to a good start. You're incredible. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I seriously appreciate it. Thank you for popping in. Another Michael said, how much of your day is spent writing when you're not here answering questions? Michael, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday for about 2 hours, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. I try to write for 2 to 4 hours a day. I've been in a big promo phase recently, so I've not done as much writing. I'm getting back to it, thank goodness. So about 2 to 4 hours writing a day. I target 2,400 words. It's about a chapter for me. If I can move at that pace, I can finish a book in about 2 months, give or take a little. Probably give a little. So that's what I aim for. That's what allows me to write consistently over the long term. Raku says, was writing dialogue ever difficult for you? I feel like mine always sounds clunky. I never had particular issue with dialogue, but that's just luck of the draw. People have things they're better at. If yours feels clunky, try to say it aloud and then write it down so you can mimic the way that we speak, or try to dictate it to the computer, into a voice notes app or just into dictation into your document. Because the trick with dialogue is it's spoken. It's not, we are writing it, but we're writing down what was spoken. There's colloquialisms, there's slang, there's shortcuts. Dialogue should have all that. That's how we talk. Paul, my D&D campaign's not going to be in the Wriggly Little Hands universe. But I will be reusing dungeons I designed in my lit RPG books and throwing them at my players. So that's going to be fun. Jeremiah, I'm glad I could help with the audiobooks, dude. Look into that for your novel. It might work. K Chef said, what's your system for drafting your first story? I've been trying to write a screenplay. So I don't know about screenplays. I got a screenwriter friend of mine. I could ask him. I don't know much about screenplays. For drafting my first drafts, I do what I call a skeleton outline. I do a bullet point per chapter, and then I allow myself 2 sentences of explanation for a bullet point if I feel that I need it, and then I cut it there. No more planning than that. I don't want to get a lot of planning in. It bogs me down. It slows me down. And my best ideas come in the moment, so I like to have a rough outline to follow with room to pivot if cool ideas come up. I'm kind of like an improv writer. I'm not writing by the seat of my pants. I know where the story's going, but I have ideas in the moment that are way better than anything I planned out ahead of time. Impage, you said, how am I feeling after my incident? That's an ominous way to put it. I feel good, dude. We still don't know what's happening. I had appendicitis-like symptoms last week. We did a whole slew of tests. We can't find anything. The symptoms are still off and on, but they're more off than they're on, so I'm doing good. I played 2 hockey games last night, and nothing burst inside me, so I think we're doing good. We're going to see. The doctor's still looking at it, but I played 2 hockey games last night. I was totally fine, so I guess we're okay. I don't know. We'll take it day by day. Corey said, what do you do if you have an idea but find out someone else has done it? Do it anyway, baby. Every story in the world's already been told, but it hasn't been told by you. Your unique voice is what makes a story good. The way you see the world, the way you write about it, that's what makes things original. Originality is overblown in story concepts. Originality in voice is what sells stories, in my opinion. Sorry, y'all. 25 questions I've missed. Sorry, let me catch up. See, Joseph, you said join the Discord. I'll drop that link. Thank you for shouting about it. We got a wonderful Discord community, y'all. If you want to hang out after stream, share writing, talk about it, get a little critique on it, share art. We got a lot of art going on in there. Some sick maps. So yeah. Your local pansexual asked, how does the title Lost Dynasty sound? It's my first book I'm writing and I need approval. It's a cool title. Cool is dramatic, local, but look at other books in your genre. Look at the format they're following for their titles, because while we want to think of a title as unique and cool and interesting, the most important thing for a title, damn, I'm going Italian here, the most important thing for a title is that it informs the reader what to expect. That's the reason a lot of titles sound similar, because it's conveying to the reader what to expect from the story. So you want your title to be similar to other titles in your specific genre. Make it unique, obviously, but follow the convention of what books are selling well in your genre right now. Modern Apology, you just finished your book? Dude, I'm proud of you. Good work. Rock on, dude. Word sprint in 2 minutes on the Discord. I was probably posted about 5 minutes ago, and I'm just getting to it. I am so sorry. Y'all jump into that Discord. I'll give you the link again if you want to do writing sprints with the community. Thank goodness they're incredible. They're doing them here. Normally I do them on stream, but you guys got so many questions, I'm answering them. So they're going to do the sprints in Discord if you want to join. Flesh Over Chrome, what's up, buddy? Oh, it's a pleasure to have you back. Welcome back, dude. I hope you had a good weekend. SL Rushy, best piece of advice for someone working on their first book. Be fearless. Don't doubt yourself. Write what is most fun to you. You got to have fun with the story before anybody else does, so make sure you're entertaining yourself as you're doing it. I think if you follow those 3 guidelines, you won't go astray. Khadija said, do you ever have to compromise what you want to write for marketability? Dude, good question. You know a thing or two, I think. Yes, unfortunately, yes. I try not to do it too much. I'm more of a weird, out there, write what I want author than I am a write-to-market author. I would make more money being more of a write-to-market author. That's just the truth of the matter. I try to find a balance, 60% what I want to write, 40% what's expected in the market. But there is a compromise. If you're going to be writing to support yourself, you do have to write to what's selling at some level. Try to personalize it, obviously. But yeah. Austin Sent says, I'm attempting something new, writing the world before I write any story in it. Is that smart? It's not a bad idea, Austin. It can bog you down if you spend too long in the world building aspect. Now, if world building is what you enjoy and you want to stay there, rock on. Nothing wrong with that. Go for it. But if your goal is to write a book, don't let the world building bog you down. Make sure you write that book. Keep that momentum up. I see a lot of folks get bogged down in world building. K-Chef, you said you appreciate my insights. I appreciate your questions. I hope I can help. I'm going to jump ahead, y'all. If I missed your question, please do ask it again. I'm just trying to catch up. Do you write from the beginning or the end, or do you hop around the story? I am a chronological writer simply because I'm a one-track mind kind of guy. I write beginning to end straight through. I struggle if I jump around. Impage, nothing burst inside you. The aliens haven't gotten to you yet. No aliens, no appendix popping. We're doing okay for the moment. Star says, why don't you like Superman? Lex Luthor reference. All right. Hey, he's played by an actor that I really like in the new Superman movie, so I'll take it. I don't know the actor's name, but he was in Mad Max Fury Road, and I loved his work there. K-Chef, the topic I'm covering is dark, so I'm trying to add some light based on real events. How do you add color to a dark story? Moments of levity are important. Genuine moments of emotion. Find light in the dark places. Like, if the story's dark the whole time through, it's just going to like depress people. You want to vary the emotion that's experienced. It can be overall dark, but there should be moments of brightness in there. Make sure you find time for that through character bonds or just a funny scenario. Like, it's important to mix those things in together. Colby Megara says you make audiobooks. I don't personally. I sell my books to audio producers. I sell the audio rights, and they produce the audiobooks. That's how I get those done. I know nothing about producing audiobooks outside of selling them to an audio production company you want to work with. Court, any advice for anyone starting out in writing that already works daily? Find time in your schedule where you can write daily and stick to it. Build a routine out of it. If you do it for a couple weeks, it becomes a habit, and you find yourself wanting to write during those times. It's really hard when you're working full time, but you just gotta have that passion and that love, that excitement for it. And realistically, if you're working full time and you also want to write, there's some sacrifices that have to be made. Some amount of your free time has got to be spent writing. You know, when I was working 9 to 5 and wanted to become an author, I worked 9 to 5. Ate dinner on the drive home, changed into comfy clothes, and then I went to the college library Monday through Thursday, and I wrote like 8 p.m. to midnight, 1 a.m. every night. That was when I found my time to do it. Flesh over chrome. How do you come up with your book covers? Do you sit down with an artist and tell them your idea? Okay, wonderful question, Flesh. Wonderful question. I have learned, find a good cover artist, someone who you really like their style. Give them the concept for the title in the way that they want it. Some will ask for more detail, some will ask for less. And then step way back, and let them do it. The artists know what they're doing, y'all. Getting cover art done, in my opinion, this is my experience personally, is not about tweaking every little thing on the cover until it's exactly what you want. You picked the artist because you love their style and the vibe that they bring. They are the professional. They know what they're doing here. Give them your ideas and let them work their magic. That's how I work with cover artists. I step way back and I go, you're the expert. You kind of know what I want. You do your thing. That's how we got Wriggly Little Hands, y'all. I literally told him, like, look, the goblins look kind of like cats. They're green. They're silly. I want a bunch of goblins on a rocket-powered wagon blasting through frame with an undead horse riding in the wagon with them. That's like all I said. He made all this. And I'm like, yeah, you nailed it. Done. No notes. Perfect. That's how I like to work with cover artists. And as a reminder, y'all, if you want to read Wriggly Little Hands, my comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip, it's on Amazon. The links are in my bio. You can get it in Kindle Unlimited, paperback, audiobook, ebook, whatever version you want. It's there. Please do pick it up. It supports me. It supports the stream. This is my full-time job. So book sales keep me going. So please check it out, y'all. I would greatly appreciate it. Amino Troll. Have you ever come up with such a good concept only to find out it's already been made? Amino, I kind of answered this earlier, but and then Slindy, I want to get to your 3-parter if I can. Amino, every story in the world has already been told, but it hasn't been told by you. Don't worry about originality. Worry about your unique voice, and the you-ness that you bring to the story is what makes it original. Focus more on that than worrying if it's been done before. As long as it's not an exact copy of a story that's been done before, it's fine if it borrows elements. Every author is inspired by every other author they read. That's how it works. Slindy, let's see. I see the 3 out of 3. Where's 2 out of 3? Dang, I can't see them. I'm sorry, Slindy. I only see part 3 out of 3. Feel free to ask again or message me on Discord if you want, so I can see that. Eric, that's brilliant. World building is the playground, but it's not fun until you fill it. Yeah, spot on, man. Spot on. User 788-78743-1526 says, how do you flesh out a flaw fully for a character? I like to give them positive traits and then a couple negative traits. Often I'll just look up a list of like common character flaws, and then I'll think about the positive traits the character already has, and I'll pick a flaw that is most common to reoccur based on their positive traits. I think that's a fun way to do it. You make them have a flaw that's going to come up a lot, and the goal is that they're going to need to resolve that flaw in order to complete the story. It's the concept of what the character wants versus what the character needs. This is common in a positive change arc for characters, which is a way that we describe mapping positive growth of a character throughout a story, you give them the lie that they believe. The lie that they believe is the thing the character thinks. It's what they want, what they think that they need to be the person they want to be, but it's a lie. There's always something under the surface that is what they actually need. It's called what the character wants versus what the character needs. They should go into the story pursuing the thing that they think they want and find out the thing they need. Only when they get the thing that they want and find out that it didn't solve their problems. Then they come to a realization, generally around 2/3 of the book, or in the climactic moment, the climactic finale. They get the thing they want, realize it's not the solution, and then they have like the breakthrough moment of what they actually need. You'll see this in every hero's journey story. It's classic. It works. It's great. So many questions, y'all. I apologize. If I miss it, please do re-ask. Have you ever kept deleted scripts and referenced them in future editions or chapters? Absolutely. Don't delete any writing. You can take it out of your story. You can cut it from your story, but save it in a folder somewhere. You'll be surprised how often you will come back to that. So yeah. Y'all, thank you for the great questions and the follows. Seriously appreciate y'all. Having a lot of fun today. Thank you for being here. It's nuts that you guys are here. Like, seriously. Thank you very much. Seriously, you guys are nuts. I appreciate it so much. Nick Atkins. Let's see. I scrolled and your question disappeared. There it is. Any advice for working on a couple projects at the same time? Don't. I know that's not realistic. A lot of folks do it. Me, I'm a one-track mind guy. One project at a time. I go insane if I have multiple projects. If you got a couple projects at the same time, commit 80% of the time to one and 20% to the other. If you're doing more than 2 projects at once, I got nothing for you, man. I can do 1 at a time. I can conceptualize how to work on 2 at a time. 3, nah, my head's going to explode on stream thinking about that. Oh, okay, I got you, Slindy. You're talking about don't keep your characters constantly miserable. Happiness isn't boring. Yeah, spot on, dude. Absolutely agreed. You need it. You need it. Ultimate Super Elite, you said I sound like Goku's voice? Oh, I'll take that. Man, that's flattering. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. X-Vindicator, do you play D&D? Man, I love D&D. I've played it several times as a player. I'm going to be DMing my first campaign later this year. I'm super pumped about it. Bernie's Booty, how do you structure your stories? Do you use a 3-act structure? I do. I use a 3-act structure, and I use a typical hero's journey outline. There's a wonderful app, Plotter, Polttr, that is a great outlining tool. It's like a digital storyboard. I love that tool for plotting. So yeah, that's what I use. Holy cow, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm missing so many questions. Mare Bear, you said don't judge a book by its cover, but I would want to read this based on its cover alone. You talking about Wrigley? I hope so. I would be very flattered. It's an incredible cover. Y'all, goblins on a road trip, comedy fantasy, a lot of shenanigans, road rage, unionization, a genie wish gone terribly wrong, the forces of good and evil fighting it out, and a goofy bunch of little goblins stuck in between. That's Wriggly Little Hands. Links are in my bio. It's on Amazon, ebook, Kindle Unlimited, paperback, audiobook, any format you want. Please give it a look. This is my job. Selling this keeps me working. Please pick it up. I appreciate it. Someone asked, how do they become a cover artist? That I don't know. That's a little bit outside my realm of knowledge. I work with people who are already cover artists, so I don't really know how they've gotten there. Maybe I need to ask them that. I'm sorry I can't answer that more. Desktop Adonis, that's a cool name. If you could have any bookcase decoration made, what would it be? Oh boy. I am loving K-pop Demon Hunters right now on Netflix. So give me a derpy cat. Like I want like a little decoration of his face somehow. Or the Magpie, Sussy Magpie, I think he's called, Magpie. I wouldn't mind one of those hanging out like in the back of a bookshelf in the darkness with just the 3 glowing eyes. That'd be pretty sick. That's my answer there. Matthew Ferris, how can you more easily change the way that your characters speak? I'm currently struggling. Look up a lot of videos about how the people similar to your character speak. Find movies, TV shows, interviews with people or characters that speak that way, and just pay attention to how they speak. Play it in slow-mo. Study real-life examples is basically what I'd say. Hi, Crit Myth! Welcome back in. Good to see you. I always remember that beautiful profile picture of yours. The rarest of virtues is consistency, man. You keep showing up, we'll keep showing up. Buddy, I appreciate you. Look, y'all, I want to be here. This is awesome. This is such a lovely way to spend time. Like, I got into writing because I love telling stories, but interacting with like people, strangers I don't know that might want to read my books, maybe I can be so self-serving as to say fans, is freaking incredible. It absolutely charges me up. I love it. This is the only place I want to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Maybe more. Who knows? But thank you, man. I appreciate that. Impage, what's the current story you planned / thought up? I am currently finishing Paragon 5, so the 5th and final book in this series. Luke and I are co-writing that bad boy, so I'm wrapping up my part of it. Then we're moving into the sequel to Wriggly Little Hands, and I'm doing a lot of planning for that right now. Kind of brainstorming, stewing on it. That's what's coming up next. I'm very excited for the sequel. It's going to be good. Prob Karasu says, are you a tormented soul? I don't think so. I'm a pretty happy dude. The only thing that torments me is when I get so into a world, a book, a movie, a story, that I'm just so broken when it's over, and I just wish I was spending more time there. Like the book hangover effect, that can hit me hard. If ever I'm anything approaching depressed, it's always from finishing just an incredible story and being like, why isn't there more of it? So if I'm tormented, it's because I've just had an incredible experience with a wonderful piece of media. Period said, do you have a personal favorite power system? In fiction. Not really. I prefer magic that's mysterious and wondrous and you don't know the rules of it, and kind of scary. So I guess you could call that a power system. That's what I'd go with, though. Overflow, you're trying to get into dark fantasy writing. Any tips? Don't make it entirely dark. Don't make it dark without reason. Read dark fantasy authors. Read Joe Abercrombie, for instance. I think he does dark fantasy really well in that it's constantly dark. His characters are like bad dudes, but you also root for them. That's really impressive that he can do that. My recommendation would be to read everything Joe Abercrombie's written. Probably a regular question, says Yui Show, but how do you get people to care about your story? Okay, so two-parter. Caring about the book and like making them buy it, challenging. Big one, I think, good cover that attracts their attention. Bright, stands out on a shelf. This bad boy, the couple bookstores it's in, sells like hotcakes because people see the cover from afar. I've gone to some book fairs and sold it in person, and I see people at like 20 feet out. I'll see them just kind of spin around, see the book, and like deviate from where they were going to walk up and look at the book. So a bright, standout cover is number one. If we're talking about care about the story, because of the characters, the story itself, the answer is character. As quick as possible, you need to make the readers ask a question in their mind with your opening lines, because if they have a question in mind, they're going to stick around to get an answer. Leading questions are great for writing. 2, you need to make them care about the character by demonstrating that the character is a person that they can root for and is an entertaining character. If they're not going to be a good character that's like really wholesome that people want to root for, make them entertaining. Make them entertaining no matter what. But like if they're going to be a bastard of a character, make them a fun bastard that people are there for the shenanigans. You know. I think that's a two-parter for it. Jacob, you said, I wish you luck on your writing. When I grow up, I want to write for comics. Man, rock on. I love that. Look, dude, if you're still young, you're still early, that is the best gift you can have. Start writing for comics now. Make your own comics. Write your own comics. Like, it's all practice, right? The earlier you start, man, the better heads up you're going to have on all of us. I'm very jealous if you're still young and getting into it, dude. Rock on. Nick asked, are there any software / tools that you write on? I've always just assumed authors use Word. Yeah, a lot of us use Word. I use Google Docs and Google Drive because it syncs between my desktop, my MacBook, and my phone, so I have my writing with me no matter where I am, and I frequently do add to it while out in the world. There's a lot of fancy programs out there. It's about the level of complexity that you want from your program. Personally, I just want a blank space to write words, have it immediately auto-backed up. That's all I'm looking for. Google Docs does that for me. You want to get more advanced, you could use a program like Scrivener. Expensive, but very powerful. It overwhelms me. It's got too many options. I stick to just blank page, words on page, keep the flow going. Yusuf, you're trying to be a nonfiction writer, but you struggle to begin every time you try. Any tips? Set a timer 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And during those, while that timer's running, you just write, man. Don't think about it. Don't doubt yourself. Don't worry you're putting bad words on the page. Just write during that time. What I find when I do this is by the time that timer is done, my mind has kicked into creative mode and I just want to keep going. It's basically a way to trick your brain into stopping worrying about things, stopping doubting, and just words on page. Words on page, it gets you going. It revs up that engine. Justin says, "Whoa, does your keyboard just end there? Is this a respected keyboard for the writing/typing world?" I've got keyboard cam down here. It's just a keyboard. I don't know what specifically is standing out about it, but it's just a mechanical keyboard I got because I wrote on my old keyboard so much the keys broke, so I can replace the switches on this one if they start going out. Alyssa said, "How did you transition between full-time employee and full-time writer? Did you have to save money?" I did definitely save a lot of money, but my transition was more gradual in that I was a full-time writer, I was a full-time communications coordinator at an office job. In the nights, I started writing. Then I started picking up side work, writing freelance business copy for businesses. As I made more money from that, I went from full-time to part-time at my main job and ramped up my freelance business writing. And then I used my contacts in freelance writing to find novella writing gigs and then ghostwriting gigs for novels. And I just slowly transitioned it that way. And then when I had a lot of ghostwritten novels under my belt, I started reaching out to publishers about writing under my own name. So I kind of built my way into the industry over time. It was like a 2 or 3 year transition. Gabriella Maya says, "How do you think? Do you think in pictures/images, or do you have an inner monologue?" Yeah, pictures. When I'm writing, I'm seeing pictures, and then I'm get a flow state of words describing those pictures going to the keyboard. That's kind of how I do it, I guess, but it's different for everybody. No Noonie to the Mooney says, "I love your cooking videos. Keep on binging, Bavish." That's another person I get told I look like a lot. Hey, I'll take it. You look like if Asmongold took care of himself. All right, there it is, boys. Asmongold counter up to 45. Tick the counter up one more. Hey, I appreciate it. Jonathan Livingston Andrews, you said, "I wish I could record this live and re-listen to it." Boy, Jonathan, do I have news for you. All of my live streams are recorded to YouTube and saved there. So link in my bio goes to YouTube. You can watch all of my live streams. You can watch them all back on there, man. All my stuff's there. YouTube.com/@author-Alex-Knight. Simply Cottle C on YouTube says, "What books have you wrote?" My friend, I have written all of these and more. These are my book ones. You can find them all in the links in my bio. But the one that I'd really like you to look at right now is Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip trying to save the Dark Lord. But they're goblins, y'all. They're goblins. You know they're going to mess it up. You know they're going to get distracted. You know they're going to have side quests. It's a wild book. Please do pick it up. It's my newest. It's my love. It's my passion project. The links are in my bio. You can get it on Amazon for Kindle Unlimited, paperback, audiobook, ebook, any format you want. It's there. Please do check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see what else we got. Alicia, thank you for running the sprints in Discord. I'm going to drop that link again, y'all. I've been answering a lot of questions about sprints, writing sprints. If you want to see what those are about, this whole set a timer and write thing, I just dropped a link to Discord in both YouTube and TikTok chat. Jump into my Discord, go down to the Writing Sprints channel. Some of my wonderful admins and community members are running sprints in there now. Go check it out. It's a great way to write. And thank you again, guys. I seriously appreciate you running that. Poster Bob, you said, "As an aspiring author, I'm looking forward to learning from you." Man, I'm looking forward to helping. Thank you for being here, Poster. Seriously, dude, I appreciate that. Please ask me any questions you got anytime I'm live. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. Central Time, I'm here. We're always doing something writing, storytelling, creativity focused. And I'm always up for questions. Anytime, no matter what I'm doing, you hit me with those questions, man, I'm going to get you those answers. M says, "Asmongold with hygiene." 46 Asmongold references. The counter climbs higher. Hey, at least with hygiene, I'll take that. Y'all, Thank you for the follows. Seriously, I really appreciate you guys. I want you to know how blown away I am by this. Like, seriously, I wrote for years, 3-4 years, with no social media following. I'm terrible at social media. Live streaming's like the way that I connect with y'all, and it means a lot to me, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Seriously, this is cool. Like, I live for this. Thank you very much. Jonathan Livingston Andrews said, I'm jumping in because that just motivated me. I'll write a 5-minute timer every day. There you go, baby. There you go. I love it. Rock on, dude. I love to hear that. Someone said Rise to Glory looks cool. Thank you for that, y'all. Rise to Glory, it's a lit RPG fantasy book. It's a good one. I'm proud of it. It's a standalone. I like it. It's fun. You'll have fun with it. What was this? I saw something I wanted to respond to. Frank said, any fun brainstorming games you like to use? Yeah. Okay, so here's one, Frank. No, this isn't brainstorming, but it's writing exercise. If you go to my website, authoralexknight.com, let's put it in chat here, .com/dice. I have a game that I've created there. Check it out. It's called the Dice Decide. I have a list of prompts, and I roll a D12, and based on what, or a D10, or D12. Based on what comes up, it gives you a prompt. And then you read that prompt, and that prompt has modifiers that you roll additional dice for, and you create a writing prompt on the fly, and then you do it for 5 minutes. It's a lovely game. I have so much fun with it. I practiced it. I created it to practice my writing. And I got the official rules there at my website, so check it out. Grief Relief Hub. This is an interesting one. You said, how do you decide on the price of a book? I have a grief guide, but I never feel like it's good enough. Grief 1, that sounds like a very relevant book to write. Thank you for writing it. In terms of price, I look at other books in my genre, and I price accordingly to them. Traditional publishing prices their books higher than self-pub, so keep that in mind. I tend to be at like a $14.99 price point for paperbacks, $4.99 price point for ebooks. I don't set the price for audiobooks. The publisher does that. But you'll notice like Wriggly Little Hands' paperback sells at $17.99, and the reason for that is I published that one through Ingram Spark, which is another publisher that allows the book to be in independent bookstores on their shelves. Because bookstores buy the book at a 45% to 55% discount, if I sold the book less than $17.99, I would literally not make money on it. So I make $1 off of those sales at the $17.99 price point. The other books of mine that are on Amazon at $14.99, those I make like $3 per sale because I am not wholesaling them to publishers, or to bookstores, sorry. But anyway, for price point, look at other books in your genres, price at the same level as them. That is a good question. Leisha, you said you think when you joined I had less than 100 followers. I think so. Dude, I had like no followers on TikTok for years. This is insane. 69 follows in this stream alone, which first of all, nice. Second of all, thank you guys. Holy cow. I've been on social media for years and failed at it for years. It wasn't until I just started live streaming that like I found my way to talk to folks, and I'm just so happy to be here and do it with y'all. Mayor Bear, you said I have a wonderful in-person presence, passionate, kind, and witty. You're just flattering me now, but I'll take it. Thank you, Mayor Bear. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here and bringing the good energy. Seriously. I really do appreciate y'all. Someone else asked, is that the Dark Tower? It is the Dark Tower, but it's the Dark Tower from Wriggly Little Hands. Oh, that camera did not like that. Hold, please. There we go. It's the Dark Tower from Wriggly Little Hands. It's on the back of the book, behind the text. It's where the Dark Lord hangs out. So yeah, it's from the back of my book, which I thought was fun. Do your characters take up your whole brain? I have one series I write, and they live up there rent-free. Yeah, well, I'm working on a book for sure. I'm always thinking about them. I think it's good. It lets them come to life. Lets them build personalities. So yeah, rock on. Definitely. I think it helps them become alive, you know? Average Bear, how many Google Docs do you have with just an opening paragraph or two? All right, Bear, we're gonna pull this up. Where's my display capture? What's that? It's on the wrong monitor, so hold please. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna visualize this answer for you. Gotta change this to my second monitor. We're gonna pull up my Google Drive. And we're going to pop into this folder called Story Ideas, Plot Fragments, etc. Let's see how many documents and folders we got in here. Oh, just a casual 97 of them. This is where I store ideas and thoughts and fractions of stories, etc. Got a cool 97 hanging out in there right now. Yeah, there's a lot of Google Docs of just ideas that I'm saving for later, you know? Always write them down. There's no harm in it. So yeah. Bernie's Booty said, is it true smaller books sell more than bigger books? I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that's true at all, honestly. I think bigger books are more expensive to publish and produce, physically produce, so that might hinder, the money you make on them. But I don't think there's any correlation between length and selling. The only correlation I'm aware of is audiobooks. People do look for a value in audiobooks, so they want the book to be at least 10 audio hours or more, because audiobooks, when you're an Audible member, are priced at credits. You get credits each month. So technically, if you use your credit to buy a book that's 15 audio hours versus 10, you're getting more content for your money. Doesn't mean it's a better story. Just means it's more content. Alex Blake Maddox, how do you find motivation to write? Force it. If the motivation's there, rock on. If it's not there, you got to write anyway. Inspiration is fleeting. It will come and go. You'll love it when it's there, but when it leaves you, if you want to be a serious writer, you want to publish books, you got to write when the inspiration's not there too. You just got to find your way through it. Yvestal says, what kind of fantasy? My thing now is comedy fantasy, like this bad boy. Wriggly Little Hands is a comedy fantasy about goblins that go on a road trip quest to save the Dark Lord. And they're goblins, so they mess it up at every opportunity. That's more the fantasy I'm writing these days. That's the direction I'm going. The links for it are in my bio. It's on Amazon. It's in Kindle Unlimited. It's an audiobook. It's a paperback. It's an ebook. Please pick it up. I'd appreciate it, y'all. It supports me. It supports the stream. It also is a great idea of where I'm going with my writing. That's my niche, and I'm sticking to it now. Wolf, you just arrived. Can I give you a speed run description of my process from an idea to a ready to publish book? Real quick, since I saw Raven said that they can't stay they can only stay for a few minutes, I want to say hi, Raven. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the time that you're able to spend with us. We appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great Monday. Hope you had a great weekend too. Wolf, to your question. All right, so I have the idea for a story. The first thing I do, if I think I'm going to want to make it a book, I go, in this idea, what's the craziest, coolest, most dramatic moment I can imagine for this? That's the climax of the story. Craziest, wildest idea, right? Then I work back from that and just say, what are the most important moments that can work backwards to kind of fulfill the building up to that big moment, right? Then I sit down and I do a bullet point per chapter, and I just make bullet points for chapter 1. This happens. Because that happened, this happened. Because that happened, this happened. And I bullet point through the chapters all the way up to that insane, crazy moment. Then I sit down and I write it. Once it's done, I get an editor to look over. I self-edit, then I hire an editor for it. And then functionally, it's ready to publish. Then you have a decision point. Are you self-publishing? Are you trad publishing? Are you small press publishing? And you take the appropriate steps based on that answer. Bethy, you like your books thick and juicy. Hey, rock on. I like them thin and quick. Personal preference. I like a fast book. Triv, are you related to Asmongold? Triv, thank you for ticking up the Asmongold counter. Another one. That's 3 today. We are up to 47 references. Average Bear says, have you played Goblin Quest? It's a TTRPG. I haven't, but it gets mentioned a lot because of my most recent book. I need to look into it. I really do. I'm a Goblin fan, for sure. Jess, opinions on using AI to write? No. I got into writing because I love writing. I don't want a program to write for me. I want to do the writing, man. That's what I love. Also, you're shortchanging yourself. When you write, you are getting better. Every word you write is improvement. Don't take that away from yourself. You got to practice to get better. AI writing for you, you're not writing. You're just having the AI do it. Plus, it's bad, and it's all stolen. So yeah, no, I'm an opponent of AI. Impage, do you have any plans or ideas for the D&D campaign? My plans mainly for the D&D campaign are to recycle dungeons from my lit RPG books down here. I had to design dungeons for them, so I'm just going to make my friends run through those dungeons with a reskinning applied to them to work for whatever fantasy world we decide on. We're going to have a session 0. We're going to talk about how they want the campaign to go, and then I'll build around that, and then I'm just going to use those dungeons from my books because I want to see how they solve them. Stufu said, do you need to be good at storytelling or English language arts to start making a book? I mean, it helps, but you don't need to be good to start. It's all practice and you get better as you go, right? So start wherever you're at. You'll get better as you go. Love of the game, man. Love of the game, reading widely and practicing a lot of writing. That'll get you there. Slindy, thank you for being here, my guy. I appreciate you as always. I hope you have a lovely Monday. I'll catch you again on Wednesday. But dude, rock on. It was a pleasure talking with you today. Flying Monkey, do you think Fortnite had a good plot before Chapter 3? I didn't follow the Fortnite plot at all. I've played it a little bit, but I don't know anything about their story. So I can't answer that one. Beans, I do not know the answer to that one at all. Not ringing any bells. Jared Mullen, I want to get into writing. Should I take some writing courses to help? I'm in my 40s. It's been a minute. Courses help. They're not bad. But honestly, if you want to get into writing, read a lot of books in the genre you want to write. Start writing short stories. That's it, man. There's your 2 tips. Third tip, write exactly what you want to read. Have fun with it from the get-go. Don't worry about whatever anybody else thinks. Write what you want to write. So read widely, write short stories, submit them to contests if you want, and write exactly what you want to read. You got to love the story before anybody else. It's okay if you want to take courses. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't think you need them. I really don't. I think you can learn through doing. Melissa, that's so kind of you. How can I go about getting Wriggly Little Hands into bookstores up here in Ohio? You have to basically really the author needs to reach out to them and submit through their book consideration process. It's a hard ask because bookstores like to support local authors. When you take away the local aspect, it's hard because bookstores have limited bookshelf space, right? It's real estate. So they need books that are going to sell on there, and it's always a risk for them to come and stock a small author like me. But yeah, technically I would need to submit to them. But if you want to do it, what you should do is if you have a relationship with them, you should mention, hey, I really like this book. I think it would do well in your store. And if they take a look at it and they like it, they can order it through Ingram Spark and stock it on the shelves. That's why I have it there. It's got the standard industry discount for them, so they can stock it and put it on shelves if they want. User 87942809631 says, how do you get yourself to actually put pen to paper? How much planning goes in first? I do minimal planning. That's just what works for me best. To get to put pen to paper, it's literally just sitting down and doing it. What helps if I'm struggling is to set a timer, say 5 minutes, and during that time, I have to write. Doesn't matter if it's bad. Doesn't matter if I'm going to cut it out in editing. Just for those 5 minutes, you got to write. What I find is that kickstarts your brain creatively. It gets you going. And by the end of that timer, you're like, oh, I want to keep writing. So you've tricked yourself into it. Rat. Thank you. Rat with a hat. No. Rat with a mustache. Oh, no. I'm messing it all up. Rat sent hat and mustache. Thank you very much, my friend. Seriously. Gift for a gift. You send gifts, you get gifts. Little goblins for you. Rules. Don't feed them after midnight. Hide everything flammable in your house, and I apologize, your house is going to be an absolute mess after this. But they're cute. It's worth it, right? It's worth it? Probably? Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Raffi, you told your bookstore to do so. You're going to check to see if she got it. She's super busy. Well, thank you, Raffi. I appreciate that, man. That's... Seriously, that's insane, man. Thank you so much, Raffi. I don't know how to respond to that, y'all. That's incredible. Thank you so much. NF Heroes, you sent a tiny diny. Thank you, dude. Gift for a gift. Goblin for you. Goblin for a diny. That one's yours. Thank you so much. God Hand Sloppy, do you copyright all your books? I know it's technically copyrighted as soon as you write it, but do you finalize copyright it and pay the fee to do so? I do not, God Hand. What I've heard is the only reason to do that is if you expect litigation. The copyright, just by publishing it, is often, almost always more than enough. The only time that you would pay that copyright is if you're lawyering up to go for a legal battle. That's about the only time you do it. Most folks I know don't do that. Stoned Panda, does listening to audiobooks count the same as reading? Count the same? I don't know, but is it still enjoying and consuming the story? Absolutely. Plus, it's like a different medium. Wriggly Little Hands has an audiobook that is an incredible experience. Personally, I think it's the best version of the book. Sound Booth Theater brought in 7 different narrators. We got a main character narrator, but then all the side characters have their own voice, and it's incredible. And they added sound effects and stuff. It's more like an audio drama than a book. It's really cool. So like, you could read the book, but you could also listen to the audiobook. They're different experiences, but they both count. And if you want to hear that audiobook, the link's in my bio. Check it out. I'd appreciate it. Eric, you said when you get paid next, you plan on looking at some of my books? I appreciate you, man. Hey, that's all I ask. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, for real. The Feral Sapphic. That's a great name. You're curious what I use for advertising. You don't have issues writing, but you don't know where to start advertising. Oh, boy. Advertising's tough. I'm still learning it myself. It's hard. Advertising is hard. The logic that I'm following is the best advertising is writing the next book. If you're publishing on Amazon, every time that you publish a book, the algorithm bumps that book and all your other books. That's really how I do advertising. I'm still learning other ways to do it. I don't really know it well. I try to network. I try to be in the community where readers are and be a valued part of that community. I want to bring value and not just be there to sell books, but as a byproduct, I do sell books. It happens when people look into my profile, they look at my stuff, they're interested in it. I push them on stream like I've done. Links in bio. Check out the book. It's fun. It's funny. But I don't know advertising very well. I just try to be a member of the community and have fun. Be there, be a part of it, and kind of let the rest take care of itself. So yeah. Zoe, you said, what's your favorite spicy book? You're looking for recommendations? I don't read a lot of spicy books, but I do have one that I just picked up. Oh, I can't remember the title. Can I see it on my... It's on my to-be-read shelf, but I don't have my glasses on. I don't know if I can read the title from here. It's like Amazing Race themed. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I do need you to know that I just Googled a book title. I just Googled the term Amazing Race Gay Couple Book. Planes. It did not come up. Boy, what is it? I can't think of it. I don't know, man. I can't get there. It's on my bookshelf. I'm going to go look. Hold on. Couldn't let it go. I had to get it. It's called Winging It With You by Chip Pons. I haven't read it yet, but it looks great. It's basically like main character is going to be a contestant on what is really just The Amazing Race with their boyfriend, and their boyfriend breaks up with them in the airport on the day they're supposed to fly out for it. So the main character runs into a random pilot who is being forced to not work so much and take a vacation, and is like, hey, do you want to go on this reality show with me? And I build it that I was going on as a couple, so like we have to pretend we're boyfriend and boyfriend. It sounds amazing, and they like compete in basically The Amazing Race. So hey, I don't know if it's good yet. I haven't read it, but it sounds awesome. Winging It With You by Chip Pons. I'm excited to pick it up or to check it out. And yeah, Melissa, that Google search was nuts, right? I was hoping it would get there. Thank you for the follows, y'all. Seriously, you're insane. I hear them coming in. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, for real. This is nuts. It really is. Moody Leftist Philosopher says, that's great advice. I'm still writing my first novel. I'm so worried about advertising. Yeah, if you're still writing it, don't worry about the advertising. Especially because like if you're going to go traditionally published with it, some of the advertising will be done for you. You would be more in the realm of like being in the community space with people. The publisher will put money into advertising for you. I am local to Texas, Melissa, so that is why I reach out to local bookstores here for getting my books in. The local element does help. Does help. Y'all, holy cow! Thank you so much for all the questions today. I love it. We got a few more, so let's get into them. Court says, is it best to build relationships within the writing world in order for your book to be successful? Yeah, writing world and reading world. Don't go too heavily into either one. If you end up being friends and being in a community of all writers, not as many of them are going to buy your book, but they're going to have good advice. You can be able to talk shop. That's great. You want to be also in communities with readers because you need people to sell the book too. So do both communities and try to just be a valued member of it. Like actually contribute and be happy to be there. Don't astroturf it. Be there for real. Rat, you said SBT is amazing. Sound Booth Theater is amazing. God, I love them. Actually, hold on, guys. I gotta pull up something cool for you real quick. About Sound Booth Theater. Here we go. Let's go to display capture. Hold on, let's put it over here. There we go. Can I zoom in a little bit? This is from Lit RPG Con that just happened this weekend. This is Sound Booth Theater's booth. And can you see what's right there on the bottom right-hand corner? Can I zoom in on this image? Yeah. There we go. Right on the corner of their banner, y'all. You recognize that art? Check that out, man. They had Wriggly little hands on their con banner. I'm so pumped about that. I love the Sound Booth folks. They're incredible. They're an absolute pleasure to work with. Let's see what else we got. Carly's. Hello. Quick question. Do you use some company names that we can apply to be an entry-level editor? No, I don't know too many. I'll say my small press publisher that I work with, Portal Books, is always looking for editors. They do like you to have a little bit of experience, though. This information's outdated. When I was getting into writing, ghostwriting, I used Reedsy, Reedsy. I don't know if it's still good, but that was a good place for me back in the day. Outside of that, look up small press publishers. Athon Books, Portal Books, the equivalents therein. They're always looking for editors, so I'd start there. JPLB96 on YouTube said, "How much planning goes into your books, or is it an idea, and then writing to see what it becomes, or do you know all of what's going to happen?" I'm like an improv writer in a way. I do a very basic plot outline, like bullet point for each chapter. And I follow that, but I allow ideas to come to me in the moment. That's really where my best creative inspirations come from. For instance, I had a book that I was writing recently, no spoilers, but in the climax, we were building up to this big fight between the main character and the big bad guy. But there's one more book coming in the series. And I had this whole big fight planned out. And I realized, building up to it, the most dramatic thing we could do is, instead of having that big fight play out, I want the main character to get absolutely just have all of their abilities taken away by the main villain and left for dead. And it was a creative pivot in the moment that set up book 5 so perfectly. And we'd been building to this dramatic finale. And then I was like, it might be kind of cool if we hold off on that to book 5 and pull a twist here. And people have loved it. I just came up with that in the moment and trusted myself enough to go for it. And it worked out really well. So I'm an improv writer. I let stuff come to me in the moment, aside from having a brief outline. Someone asked if I made that Midwest guy. Is the art behind you made by you? No, this is not made by me. I wish I was that good. It is the back cover art for Wriggly Little Hands, my most recent book. It's on the back here behind the text, made by my cover artist, Ivan Shavrin. Massive shout out to Ivan. I love the dude. Incredible artist. I want to work with him so much. It's from this book here, which you can find links for it in my bio. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip getting up to mischief. The links are in my bio for the Kindle Unlimited edition, the ebook, the audiobook, and the paperback. Please pick it up, y'all. I sell books for a living. I write books for a living. This keeps me living. I appreciate y'all, for real. Let's get some of these questions, and then I got a dip, but we'll wrap up with these questions here. Weeb for life. I like writing in my spare time, but I have a hard time writing consistently. Any tips? Weeb, you got to trick yourself into a routine. Pick a time that works for you, say 5 times a week, and always write at that time. Even if the words are bad and you don't feel like writing, set a timer for 10 minutes. Write for the duration of that timer. Don't worry if they're bad words. If you're going to edit them out later, just write for that time. What I find is when I force myself to write for a timer like that, it kickstarts my brain, and by the end of the timer, I want to keep writing. If you do this for a couple weeks in a row, 4 or 5 weeks, you get into a routine, and then your brain doesn't want to break that routine. The time will come to write, and you'll be like, yeah, I want to be writing. Why am I not writing right now? The trick to consistency is routine. I have not read Epic by Connor Kostick, Mayor Bear. Sorry. Hooded Crow, you finally left a review on Wriggly Little Hands. Sorry for the delay. No, you're good, bro. As long as you get the review in there, that's all I'm asking for. Thank you so much for reading. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and thanks for leaving a review. I seriously appreciate you. Y'all, reviews are what keeps small authors like me going. We need that buzz. We need that word of mouth, so thank you so much. Impage, you'd love to see me plot a book out with you one of these. Dude, Impage, I'm so bad at plotting, though, man. Me plotting a book on stream would be a study in a man having a mental breakdown. Plotting is my weakest element as an author. That'd be a good idea, though. Irel or Larel said, what did you do for work when you went to college? If you did, that is. Yeah, so I went to college for media communication studies, and I got a bachelor's in that, and I got a bachelor's in creative writing. Don't get a degree in creative writing. I don't think it's worth it. My time would have been better. It was a great program. My time would have been better spent simply reading books and writing short stories. I really believe that doing is the best way to learn for writing. My office job after college was a communications coordinator for the Florida Attractions Association. Basically, it's like a best practices association for all of the amusement parks in Florida, so the amusement parks could share tips on how to better attract tourists, how to treat them well, how to do good advertising campaigns, and I was the go-to do-it-all guy for them. So if they needed to do web conferences, I learned how and set it up. They needed graphics, I learned how and made them. So that's what I did for my day job before I transitioned to writing. Greg Alicious, do you think it's better to sit on a book for years not being able to write it yourself or have someone else write it? I think learning how to write yourself is the way to do it. You're shortchanging yourself having someone else write it for you because you get better with practice. So start practicing. It's okay if you're not good when you start. You will get better. Alicia said, join the Discord to ask questions anytime. Yeah, thank you. I will put the Discord link in here, y'all. If I didn't get to your question or you want one, you want to ask it when I'm not live, there's my Discord link. Please do join. We'd love to have you. JT's Crow, I'm working on a 6-book fantasy epic. How do you stay motivated? JT, the way to stay motivated is to not start with a 6-book fantasy epic right out the bat. Keep that in mind and get to it, when you're more experienced, but dude, it's hard to write one book. It's harder to write a 6-book epic. Start with short stories if you haven't ever finished a novel. Get that practice in. Short stories are like running a mile before you run a 5K, right? You got to work up to it. Then you get to your novel. Start with the short stories. I really think that's valuable. And there's tons of wonderful free contests you can submit them to get feedback and potentially industry acclaim for them. Pirate the Steve 1. I can usually get 48 characters written backstory, rise, fall, but I suck at dialogue. Speak your dialogue aloud, then write it down, or dictate your dialogue to the computer. Dialogue is inherently spoken. It is a verbal format. So you're really translating verbal to the written. And when we speak dialogue, there's colloquialisms, there's shortcuts, there's slang. All that should be captured. So you got to... I like to speak it aloud, then write it. So people just dictate it straight to the Word document, whatever works best. All right, y'all, I really do gotta run. I gotta get to my work day, so I'm gonna take one last question here. If I missed it, okay, 2 more, because Zuzu's got an easy one. How long did it take to become a livable career? I started the transition in 2016. I was not full-time as an author until 2018, and I wasn't making good money as an author until 2020. So I'd say call it 4 years, and it's still like I'm doing okay, but I'm not comfortable. I'm still on that grind to make more money, so really we're still on it. I'd still make more money doing a job at Walmart pretty much. But it's just enough to live off of, and every day we're trying to do better. All right, I'm going to pick one more question, y'all, then I really got to run, but it's been a pleasure to have you. If I missed your question, I didn't get to it, please jump into the Discord. I just dropped the link, and ask it in there. I will get to it. Let's do one more question. What are we getting here? All right, here we go. Potato VX, you said... what do you think about people that feel like they take too much inspiration from other works? Don't worry about it. Every story in the world has already been written. It hasn't been written by you. Your voice is what makes it unique. I really believe that, y'all. Every story's been told. It really has. But the way that it's told, the voice, the way that thoughts are conveyed through the story, the way characters sound, the things they do, that's all voice. That's you. That is something only you can do. Your voice is what makes it original and new and fresh. Don't worry about too much inspiration from other works. All authors, all storytellers borrow inspiration from other stories they've enjoyed. It's about execution. Ideas are cheap. Execution is where it matters. And voice is what makes your story original. Y'all, I need to call it there. Dracula Desus. Go to my YouTube, bro. YouTube, the link is in my bio. You can watch the whole replay there. It's been a great stream today. Wonderful questions. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I want you to know I never take a single day of this for granted. Every single day I start up this live, I'm like, I could be sitting here with 2 people, and I'm cool with that. If I can give value to those 2 people, it's worth it. But no, having all y'all here is... I don't even know how to conceptualize it, y'all. It's incredible. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm heading out, so let me plug one last time, y'all. I'm a full-time author. The way I make my living is selling books. This is my newest one. I love it. It's goofy. It's wholesome. It's funny. It's about goblins on a road trip. It's been described as a D&D campaign where no one put any points into intelligence, and the DM is taking a shot after every chapter. It's unhinged. It's goofy. It's fun. The links are in my bio. You can get it on Amazon through Kindle Unlimited, paperback, ebook, audiobook, whatever format you want. Please do pick it up. It keeps me in the job. It supports the stream. Give it a try, y'all. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. For real. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead. As we're wrapping up here, we got to say, as always, a very special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which have provided our background music today. As well, an extra special thank you goes out to community member Raffi the engineer, who custom made for this stream our 5th background song, Midnight at the Round Table. Raffi, appreciate you, my dude. Thank you so much. That is the coolest thing. Lastly, a big shout out to my excellent mods, Melissa Lee, 28, Raffi the engineer, One Happy Harpy, Simp, 1X, other name wasn't available, aka Slindy, Leisha T, and Aaron Winnick. Thank you guys. The bottom of my heart, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I couldn't do it without you. You guys rock. Thank you so much. Folks, if you've enjoyed today's stream, please give me a follow so I can catch you on the next one. I'll be back Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. I want to see you there. Please come back in. Give me that follow. Let's do it next time. Coswick, the replays are on YouTube, my guy. If you missed it, go check it out there. Folks, as we're heading out, let me give a shout out to everybody hanging out real quick. It's a lot. We got 68 folks still. I'm going to try to go through it, so bear with me. But Mayor Bear Streams, Melissa Lee, Leisha T, Raffi the Engineer, and Impage Studios, thank you for being here. Seriously. I see y'all almost every stream, and I really do value it. Thank you, guys. Impage Studios, I think I already got you, but Justin, thank you for being here. Sloyd, Kin, Elsmereth, Court, Eric of Arkham. It was a pleasure to meet y'all today. Thank you for being here. Matthew Ferris, the eyes and the face in your profile picture, or your username made me laugh. Thank you for that. Nightcrawler, Coswick, Trey Loco, Uisho, Caleb Browning, author. A couple of y'all are always here. I appreciate that. The rest of y'all, a pleasure to meet you. Mendez, 1987, Kazo, Denis, Milanese, Nafix, Ashley Jane, Faithful Writer, Little Miss Sunshine, Connor753, Chase Kelly, McRieger, Connor127J. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. It's just an emoji on that one. In30 Blaze, Javin Day, Alex. What's up, Alex? Wolfgang and Squish. Thank you, guys. Seriously. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Darlin Daisy, Hey Joe Hudson, Kara, Sylvester's Menagerie. That's a fun one. Oh boy, the list is refreshing on me. Chloe Martin, Mac, Mr. Joka, Goblin the Goblin. What's up, y'all? Thank you for being here. Jared Davey, BB, Billy Bird, Chewy, Benjamin, Bork, The Cowboy, Colt, Nicholas Tucker, Manuel, Gervasio, The Autism. Thank you for being here, folks. I appreciate you. If I missed your name in the list, I apologize. It's refreshing. It's refreshing as I read. Oh, here we go. Neverpine Racing Network. I think that's it. If I missed it, I'm sorry. But y'all, gosh, thank you for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will be back Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. Till then, give me a follow. Catch us on Discord. Here's the link. If you got questions that I didn't get to answer, please ask them in Discord, and I'll answer them there. Y'all, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have a great Monday. I hope to see you on the next one. Let's rock and roll, folks. Let's have a good week. Let's do it. Who knows what potential's coming up this week, but let's make it a good one. It's been an absolute pleasure, y'all. Thank you for being here, and I want to see you on the next one. Hey, thanks for watching. Be good, folks. Be excellent to each other.